Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to Big Thing to Mention with Dan and Bob Video Games. Being a Geno hater is now against city ordinances. Prepare to be disposed. Chris Wolfhard.
The podcast is about to implode.
And Dr. Aggro.
We're going to have to address the elephant in the room.
Here on GigaBoots. I feel like at some point we wish he, did just run out the timer on what he was saying. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Big Thing to Mention number 227. I have shot Bob to death in the intro. Ouch.
Remember the time Dan shot Bob in the dick?
That really hit me there, man. It
really hit you?
Uh-huh.
You just shot Bob in the dick?
Yeah, sure. The bullets entered his body, but I felt it. Seriously, though, I'm really glad this week because every last Geno hater on Earth is dead. That's fucking awesome.
Taken care of.
Yeah, not too many people with great taste in video game characters get to watch an entire group of haters disappeared like they're fucking the crowd in a DBZ movie.
The sunlight just hit them. They were all vampires. We finally figured it out.
Just plays the end of Dracula XX song as they all turn into smoke and man, what a good week. Did you guys know this is an insane year in video games?
I hadn't noticed.
That was true before the Nintendo Direct. Now it is 10 times worse. What am I supposed to do in such circumstances like this, in situations like this?
Yeah,
no.
It's fucking wild.
Get rich and dilate time?
Right?
So what you're saying is I should betray capitalism?
It's okay. We can just max out our credit card this year because there won't be a single video game released next year.
Yeah, there's definitely not going to be multiple hardware releases next year.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, that's true. It looks like... Wait, didn't the PS4 Pro also line up with the Switch? Is history repeating?
Like it was. I think the
it
PS4
was 3
Pro
months
and then
apart, right?
3 months later the Switch.
Yeah, I think it might have been 2016 that the PS4 Pro came out.
It would have been the end of 2016, and the Switch comes out in the beginning of 2017.
Because there was a lot of those. Because there's a lot of games that have enhancement modes on the PS4, but don't on Xbox because the Xbox One wasn't out yet. And it's like, no, we're not going to go back for your thing. Bye. We did it already.
Yeah, I
fucking
think
missed out, asshole.
The hardest that's ever hit me was Tekken. Because I was like, Tekken should have been light enough. What the fuck?
720p, lol.
Yeah. Oh my god. What a nightmare. We have a lot of great games and thrilling news to talk about this episode, but unfortunately, I got to do something I don't think I've ever had to do before, guys. I have to apologize. I thought
order up.
I was
yes,
okay. We're apparently gonna get notification sounds. Thank you, different stream layouts. What am I supposed to do about that?
Yes,
this went great live. Things are no longer sad. I am now changing. Oh, okay. We're good. It's silent.
All right.
One of these fuckers is absolutely gonna try to trigger that if I don't do this. Ha. Let's retake that again. Don't worry, Bob will edit this out in post.
How?
Bob, it's your responsibility now because I said that with confidence.
I have to steal the files from your PC.
Yes.
Just get rich and dilate time.
I have to apologize. I thought I was being a beacon of positivity. I thought I was speaking for an unheard mass, but unfortunately, it's just me, and I was wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, I was wrong to say Avowed looked good. Every human on the surface of this planet has let me know over the last week that game looks like shit. I didn't realize. I have never been this wrong in my life. I literally got a text from my brother who said, "What game were you talking about? I saw Avowed. That looks like trash." I don't know why that game looks good to me, but apparently that dress is purple and I need to shut the fuck up. Apologies,
I don't get
everyone.
I don't get why Avowed is what people earned everybody's ire. That game looks like a normal game.
Yeah, and your brother's also a huge fan of Pillars of Eternity, which just blew my mind that he had that reaction.
No, it literally feels like everyone
Like,
but me.
Are people just butthurt that it is an Elder Scrolls 6? It's coming, guys. You're gonna have to give it 7 more years, but it is.
You'll probably be dead before it comes out, but that's fine.
That's fine. You'll realize that dying's fine by the time you get there, I guess. You'll be like, I don't need Elder Scrolls 6. I need just all of this to stop. I didn't realize. Bob, if I ever speak out of line like that again, I need you to correct me and be like, that's enough.
Bob, why didn't you fix that in post?
Yeah, Bob, why didn't you fix that in post too?
I don't know.
Here's how I knew it was bad. Here was step 1 of me knowing it was bad. I tweeted how I felt about the game. Mistake, admittedly.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
We're not supposed to tweet feelings. We're supposed to tweet funny takes. But I tweeted how I felt about the game, and everyone who came to defend the game, and every one of them even sounded like, yeah, I hope it's good. It looks like it might be good by the time it ships. And I'm like,
Oh my God.
right?
I mean, I saw the studio come out and say that, like, no, it looks better now. We're sorry.
I know. I'm
What
just
the
like, oh my God.
Right? All I remember
I
is
don't-
there was a fish guy, and I'm like, that motherfucker looks like a blue magic card. This is going to be a good game.
I don't think we get to fucking, like, if you're like, yeah, fucking Avowed looks like shit. You're not allowed to rag on like Jim Ryan or Matt Booty when they're like, every game needs to be a 7-year developed ultimate super game.
Yeah.
You're literally on their side. You are repeating their stance.
Right, yeah, and that was actually something I was struggling with in the last week, is everyone let me know I was wrong. I was like, they're right. Every game needs to take forever to make now because apparently Avowed looks like shit.
Like, it doesn't even look rough. It just looks like it has an art style that isn't realism.
But what if it looks 10 times better?
And took 8 years to make and bankrupted the Obsidian because they had to make it.
Right? And like Obsidian in that statement even said, like, this is the longest an Obsidian game has been in beta, so it's gonna work.
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Like, I
Chris
this is
Aggro, I know you're trying to
stance
protect
me.
my feelings. I know that's what this is actually about because everyone but me knows.
Are we gonna have to go through this again when they reveal that Clockwork Revolution is like a Fallout but not as big? Because it can't be, of course.
Would that be a Fallout? Is it a Fallout?
They said it's a Fallout. They said it's gonna have gear and stats and
That's
leveling.
funny. I missed actually that was the studio that Xbox owns. That's In Exile.
Yeah, they made Tormentum, the really bad knockoff of Planescape Torment, and I do not actually know what else they made.
I think they did
Somebody's saying
Wasteland.
Wastelands, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh yeah, they did the Wastelands. Oh
Which
god,
are
they did Hunted the Demon's Forge.
But what about Hunters the Reckoning?
Right, and I was like, what's about Hunters the Reckoning for a second? Did they make that?
Did they make that? Maybe I'm a huge fan. Maybe they're my like Western Arzest. Audience, I don't know how you're going to receive that apology from me. I don't know if you'll forgive me in full time. But this has been a blow to my self-respect and confidence. So if you can have patience with me as I realize that I'm fucking wrong.
If this game comes out and it's somehow ass.
Yeah, that'd be terrible. But it sure as shit looks better than the Outer Worlds did.
Admittedly, my brother thought the Outer Worlds looked like dog shit too. So maybe him hating the art style of this is like, just a consistent tangent.
Just looks a lot nicer than the Outer Worlds artistically.
I agree. It looks like Magic the Gathering is a AAA game, which I think is the part of my brain that's going full tilt and being like, oh, I need this. Yes.
Yeah, it definitely looks more unique because I felt like the Outer Worlds looked real plain. Like that.
We don't have Pip-Boy. We just have Boy.
Yeah, that retro modern sci-fi aesthetic is easy to just make look very uninteresting. I feel like they landed right perfectly in that zone.
Anyways, with my apology out of the way, we can now go to talk about what we've been playing. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Dan.
Aggro's been playing Pistol Whip. Hey, Aggro.
Hey, Dan.
How's Pistol Whipping those lenses treating you?
Oh my God. So yeah, first of all, I ordered from a company called Hans VR some prescription lenses to just slot into my PSVR 2.
For anyone who's curious, it's HONS, if I remember correctly, Hans VR.
Hans. That shit is an absolute game changer. Like, the PS2 VR is designed to fit over glasses, and it does. But I'm constantly terrified that I'm going to bump lens to lens, and I'm always reaching up into the gasket to push my glasses back up my nose. And being able to just drop these things on there and go is fucking amazing.
Are they easily removable? Like,
yeah, they literally just, I pulled them out of the handy carrying case, slipped them out of a protective plastic bag, and it right over the lens. It's just a lens and a plastic shroud that fits over the lens that's in the set.
that's great.
That's sick.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get my prescription updated.
Yeah, like I had done it like last month. It's still sitting on my desk. I was so lucky.
You're like, wait a minute. Zelda item sound.
So man, I have seen every trailer for Pistol Whip they put out, and they don't do it.
No. No. No.
Like you turn that game on, you do Black Magic, the introductory course, and you're like, oh, I feel as cool as John Wick, and that is the limit of human experience.
Yes. Yes, you get it now. You've seen the light. It's so true.
Honestly, before I even played a level, I looked over to my left and there was a suitcase, and I opened the suitcase. I'm like, oh, I can pick a bunch of guns. Every one of these guns is a reference to an action movie. This is amazing.
Have you tried out the sawed-off plasma shotgun? I believe is a good way to phrase it.
I did it in one run because it was part of this the dev's choice style selection.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like no auto aim and super aggressive, and I got my ass killed in like a minute. It was one of the first ones I did.
Yeah, after weeks of playing that game, I did one that was, and I'm trying to remember the exact name they give the we have turned off all forms of aim assist, but I did that, and I was like, oh, I can't aim. Oh, I'm dead.
I kept getting frustratingly close. I'm like, I think I could practice this and it would work, but oh god.
Right.
Oh, these tiny handles.
Like it feels like yes, you could do that, but then why are you doing that?
Like, while I was playing it, I was like, oh man, I'm just nailing these shots. This is probably some beefy aim assist, but I feel so cool.
Yeah. No, it's so good.
Then it gives you the fucking RoboCop gun that does 3 or 4 round bursts.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, that's really good because you can push and hold the trigger and swipe your hand across, and the reticle will fire when it lines up with the person.
Oh my god, what?
Yeah.
It's so sick.
And you can
especially when
dual-wield
you're doing it on
anything.
rhythm.
Yes. It's so good.
And yeah, the ability to just have, like, I am going through, the first thing I did was pull out a Beretta and like mess with all the wraps and metal colors you could do with it. So now I have twin green Berettas with white circuit board wraps on the handles and on the slide. And there's nothing better than doing these levels with a gun in each hand. It's fucking amazing.
It's so good. I spent weeks doing dual wielding, and once you're doing it like an hour a day, at some point my left arm is like, I'm just tired in general, so I'm like, well, I'll min-max, right? Let me put down one of the guns and focus on the other. And what I didn't realize is for scoring mechanics, dual wielding is weighted training for single wielding. Because one of the best strengths I have is I can shoot with my right hand insanely fast. And there are scoring mechanics where if you land a precise shot and then you like double tap or triple tap, it will count that as on beat.
Oh.
If you shoot fast enough. So I'm literally just getting higher scores relative to the leaderboard on single arm because I'm just consistently doing that. I'm like, what the fuck?
That explains why I saw you on like one leaderboard and never again. I guess they split them up.
Oh yeah, every modifier you do, every single thing, whether it's dual wield, single wield, different guns, aim assist turned off, all of these will get their own leaderboards. On a highly related note, I am number 3 on one of the songs for PlayStation Network, and that felt insane.
Holy shit.
Because they jump your ass with so many fucking dudes, and each one takes 4 shots. So the most important skill is being able to unload a mass amount of bullets in a very short time frame before they despawn, and you get lit up by the 5 other guys that are now behind you, basically, because you've spun 180 to shoot all those dudes who ran past you. Aggro, I've tried my best to describe with words how cool Pistol Whip is. I think the closest I've gotten is if Time Crisis had the aesthetic of a John Wick film with the cool lighting and was a rhythm game.
Yeah, I mean, like this is what VR was for. This is what VR looked like on TV for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
This is it. Like this is what Red Steel promised it was going to feel like.
Yeah. Yeah. They need to make a new Red Steel for VR.
They are. It's called Tiger Blade.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed Pistol Whip. I'm glad you checked it out.
Yeah, it's crazy that Ubisoft's doing Assassin's Creed and not that.
Yeah, especially since even as someone with VR, I'm looking at that Assassin's Creed game and going, I'm like VR's strongest soldier in podcasting that is not VR oriented podcasting. And I'm looking at that going, I don't know, man.
Can I get a demo?
Right.
That's super important for this platform.
It's good for me to know that your entire game isn't burnable refuse. I'm so excited for when Insomniac makes their first VR game for PlayStation because they've done them, but it was all for MetaQuest or Meta.
Mm-hmm.
So the hope is at some point they make a PS5 VR game.
Bring me the Resistance VR game.
I know, for some reason that never comes to mind. I always think of like they did a bunch of original IPs for Meta, so my brain always just assumes it'd be that or Ratchet.
I was just gonna say, I don't know. We can just mix them. Like, I'm pretty sure they did magic wielding games, so just make a magic-based resistance game. Nathan Hale gets lots of powers.
It's really fucked up that fucking Pistol Whip just went down in the rankings. Bob's like, what if Pistol Whip was even better?
Oh no, the Chimera are taking over the world. Completely unrelated, there are also wizards now.
Yes!
We're really dealing with a lot this year. These are unprecedented times.
The Nazis also invent wizards.
We don't know, and we may not explain. Hey, Aggro. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about Pistol Whip?
I mean, no. So I don't spend the next hour saying the same thing about Pistol Whip.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's been my role for the last month. Did you have anything else you played in the last week?
I did. I looked at Bob's list of Next Fest demos and was like, what the fuck? Because there was a title I recognized and went to go snag it. So, Bob, did you get to everything on that list?
No.
Did you play, actually, I need to find that title again because it's long.
Was it Echo Point?
Oh, God, no. I played that for 2 minutes and turned it off.
Okay. I thought you had played it. I was like, all right.
It was Girl Genius Adventures in Castle Heterodyne.
I did not play it. I did not get around to that one because I looked into it and it was like based on some book and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be bad, isn't it?
Yeah, I read this webcomic like a long time ago in the before times.
Oh, it's a webcomic?
It was, but it's also in print.
Okay.
I don't know which came first or what it started as. It was, like I said, from the before time, so it's impossible to know.
Right.
It's a PS2 game.
Ooh.
And not like derogatory like usual. Like in the middle of playing it, I forgot it wasn't literally a PS2 game. The way it
Wow.
controls, the way it turns, its features, it is like there's no jump button. You're just moving around environments. There's a jump down button. It's mostly puzzles with really bad single button combat. It very much assumes that you have read some of that comic to
Oh.
understand any of what's going on. It was like, yes, webcomic addiction from the early 2000s paying off again.
I should have played it then. I would love to have had that experience of what is happening.
I really did.
Give me the name of
seemed
this
like
game again.
It seemed like asset swap garbage for like the first 10 minutes. I don't know why, but then, it gets all the way up to, this is neat. It's an early PS2 game. It controls like medieval. This was a weird niche market.
What was the name of that game again?
Girl Genius Adventures in Castle Heterodyne.
Oh God, it's a girl. Oh God, I somehow missed that it was specifically Girl Genius. Good Lord.
Yup.
That comic's 22 years old and still running.
It's still going?
I'm pretty sure it's still going.
Yeah, I think when that Podler put it in their name, I looked it up and I did see like an issue from that week.
Well, good news, guys. Just barely fits.
Oh, this was a Kickstarted game.
Huh.
You can kickstart a PS2 game? That's crazy.
I guess
Weird,
so.
right?
Did you have anything else to say about this game?
I mean, like this game and the comic it's based on are maybe my favorite weird steampunk aesthetic that's ever actually been done.
Ooh.
It's one of the few steampunk properties I've never hated.
Huh. Is that maybe because you were
That's
introduced to it at
impressive.
a very young age?
I mean, it very well might be.
And Bob's like, I have a question. Raises the sawed-off shotgun above the counter. Aggro, did you play Codename Steam?
I don't think I did.
Okay.
Do you have evidence to the contrary?
No.
Okay, I didn't know if you were like
Is it-
glancing at a Steam list or something. Has played for 2 hours.
Isn't fucking Will Wheaton Abraham Lincoln in that?
We're going to move on from that question.
Oh, is that game you guys accused me of ripping off for Pilot Wings?
Because your Pilot Wings pitch was both historical and a turn-based strategy. Is that right? Because that's what that game is.
I wasn't there for that one, so I do not
You
know.
weren't there for Pilot Wings?
No. Pretty sure I wasn't.
He showed up like after we were done.
I'm trying to remember what the pitches were then, because I remember
Mine
okay,
was
okay, there
mine
we
was
go.
like a Tony
Got it.
Hawk thing.
Yeah, it took me a second. Okay. Bob's like, I don't know, you hang glide in mine. You own a cat though, and I'm like, what's the deal with the cat?
Don't worry about the cat.
Okay, now I'm worrying about the cat. I wasn't worrying until you told me not to. That's when it got concerning.
The cat may fall off the hang glider. I don't know.
Oh my god. Aggro, should our audience go read this comic and or play this demo?
That's a lot of comic, but it's like an hour of demos, so knock yourself out.
Have fun. Good luck. Did you play anything else?
I did not.
Bob and I played The Quiet Man.
It was very quiet. At least for the first half.
Just I've been waiting years to know this.
Okay.
Is that game The Bouncer?
No,
Not at all.
it wishes.
Man, imagine if it had any sense of style or anything.
Yeah,
Like
imagine.
anything
They
good for
tried. They got they got like a cutscene director from the Yakuza series to be involved, but then it's really obvious they're just like, no, you don't get any money. Like,
I'm trying to remember because one of the people involved, it specifically said, and it was like a cutscene director, it specifically said they did the early phase stuff, like before the game was in full production.
Right. So it sounded like he got fired off the project before.
Or bailed.
Or bailed.
Way more likely. I don't think the Quiet Man is firing someone with that pedigree. I think someone's bailing because things aren't coming together. That game is the definition of half-baked. If that game launched as a demo on Steam Next Fest, Bob would be like, oh, this is really rough. I don't know how they're going to pull this together in time for launch. And we're a little bit after launch, seeing as how it's 6 p.m. in June 22nd, year 2023 or something. The Quiet Man is a story where somebody came in and said, hey, it's called The Quiet Man because he's mute and deaf, right? Yeah. Actually, he does speak, doesn't he? He does speak, but not often. So he's just deaf.
Yeah.
And so they're like, what?
Yeah.
What if this dude, what if we just hit mute for the entire game, even though he can read lips? And even though he's saying some of the words, we'll mute those too. Because now our game has a gimmick, a marketing gimmick.
Yeah, no matter how little sense it makes, because he is obviously understanding things being said in cutscenes.
Yeah, he's communing with them regularly.
Yeah, like
he's talking.
Yes,
like out loud.
Not all the time, but yes.
So he is the man for whom things are quiet.
Yes. Which, honestly, if they named it that would actually be even way more badass.
Yeah.
It is really crazy. It is crazy from it really doesn't make sense and it really didn't come together. I'm going to go ahead and say that angle of muting the game for the first playthrough is absolutely a post hoc, this story sucks solution. Because one, at launch, you couldn't play with the audio track. That was a slightly post-launch patch. Two, that story is unbelievably stupid. And it's way better to just leave it to the imagination.
Yeah. No, every time we got audio for a cutscene, it just made everything dumber.
So we're gonna start spoiling the ever-loving shit out of The Quiet Man. If you are like me, someone who says, oh, I'm going to play that on a stream someday, so I better stay blind on it. Or whatever other reasons you might have for this. Maybe skip until you stop hearing delightful Dragon Quest music. Oh, right. I should also pop on the spoiler asset. You know, that there might be people in the audience who
can lip read.
Who can lip read and they won't stop lip reading for some reason.
Right, yeah.
They started and they'll never stop. In The Quiet Man, much like the character for Drive is smitten for the girl next door who is taken, The Quiet Man is smitten for a girl who is a singer who looks like his mom. Because his mom was shot to death in a scuffle between minorities on a back street when he was young, and his dad, Detective Beats his child, manipulates him in the story of the game to unlock his inner devil trigger to kill the gang leaders who are the minorities who killed his mom.
This is ripping off something. I don't know what, but the abusive father that is a detective and makes his kid a vigilante. I have 100% seen that exact story somewir.
That has
Isn't that
happened.
Hit Girl and Kick-Ass?
Yeah, that's what I was
there's
gonna
that,
say.
but there was
But,
something
like,
that
mean.
was even more like this.
But like unbelievably stupid in this case because it doesn't make any sense.
You roll over the part where this minority struggle is over a pair of sneakers. It's in the most laughable backlot.
I had to recap the whole game in one sentence. I didn't have time to say they are literally holding fresh Nikes in front of the camera and going, we minorities are arguing over this. and then they accidentally shoot his mom.
Both of them, yeah.
And then Detective Beats' child tells his child that it's his fault because he's disabled. And I'm like, I don't think him being deaf really affects your wife getting shot, sir. Maybe I don't understand how bullets work.
So I've been reading this manga lately called Beck, and it's about music. It's about a band. But there's like a evil American thug dude who is maybe a little bit of a stereotypical portrayal of a black person, 1,000 times better than the ones in The Quiet Man. It has to be from one of those Nordic countries where you've never seen someone who isn't white.
The principal filming for this, I think, was in Bulgaria. I think is
Something
what we
like
were
that.
hearing.
It's allegedly set in New York because they keep using like drone footage from some stock website.
God.
I think there are definitely parts of the production that make me think of Isolation 119.
Yeah. Or Hysteria Project.
Yes.
Truly terrible. Mechanically for combat, it is laughably bad. I don't think we've played an action game as bad and dumpy as The Quiet Man ever before.
It is really rough.
Yeah.
And also, he will snap to animations to get him in perfect alignment with the enemy very frequently, which involves him teleporting around the screen.
You know, that's actually, you want to talk about the biggest, this is not a done video game flag? This is the biggest one. No one can even debate this. You know how in a video game, you move into a wall and your character will go, there is a wall there, I will stop walking. And their animation just goes to a standing animation, basically. He will stop on the frame he ran into the wall in forever. So he'll just be frozen like this.
Yeah, it's running place. Running in place.
Well,
There
not
was
running in place,
running,
because
running.
that would be just running the animation, which would look better.
It freezes the animation.
There was something I played on stream this year that did that. I'm struggling to. Maybe it was Agents of Mayhem.
Oh,
There was something this year where, like, if you ran into the wall, they just lock on that frame of the running animation.
it's such a good
But
technique.
I don't remember what it was.
So, yeah, The Quiet Man, truly just awful.
The first time I went through, in my head, I was building up this scenario that this woman who looks just like his mother is his sister or something.
Right, yeah,
But-
we were doing that, and we were just like, yeah, that's his sister, mom, love interest.
But when we get to hear it with the audio, it's like there is no explanation. She just is his mom.
Same actress,
Same-
same everything.
Yeah. Like,
She looks
what?
identical. What? New York City is full of a lot of people who look like my mom.
Also, the superpower angles is insane.
Yeah, which, you know, if you want to go into that, we can just be like, so once again, the point of the game is he's deaf. He can commune with people just fine, and he does often through sign language and saying words. And sometimes just intimidating people. He can read lips. He's perfectly functioning as a person in society, seemingly. But for some reason, part of this game's like, he's deaf, so he's emotionally stunted and or mentally damaged. And I'm like, that's not really...
Yeah.
That's not really what you did. What? You know, we thought maybe there was an incident that caused him losing his hearing or something. It's like, no, he knew sign language when he was like 9. So clearly he's just been deaf the whole time, but they never. So anyway, so when he's a kid and they're at the psychiatrist, and Detective Beats' son is talking to the psychiatrist. The psychiatrist is like, he does these drawings that are spooky of this large bird man who protects his mom. and then they look at the kid, and then he basically goes, that's the Quiet Man. I'm the Quiet Man.
And then a bridge collapses.
And then when he's an adult, his father, Detective Beats' son, has properly manipulated him into not destroying one gang, but 2. He then attacks his son for no reason at all. literally no gain, and his son, he went double triggered to beat one of the gang bosses. He became the Quiet Man, which gave him what I'm gonna call, even though there was no lightning, shadow lightning powers.
He basically does the Chidori to people. And he takes a bullet to the back of the head and is fine.
Well, yeah, that's because he awakened his Quiet Man powers.
And at the end of that sequence where that happens, they act like he's just normal again. It's so weird. It's so bizarre.
Is the Quiet Man powers real, or is it like he has entered a fugue state as this killing machine, and you're perceiving reality as he perceives it?
A lot of movies have asked you as the viewer to question the reality, right? This is the least captivating one of those I've ever experienced. I'm like, what? But he was shot.
Right. Like
I was struck at how shamelessly and pathetically this was trying to be a Quantic Dream game.
Yeah, it does feel like that.
That's what it is at every level. That's how it looks. That's how the environments are. It's just like, and then we put in the world's worst. It has combat that would be in a Quantic Dream game.
Yeah. Except for I'd rather engage with a Quantic Dream game mechanically, because even that just isn't... The gameplay of this is just... What was the Steam review? It was like, what was it? The white son of a policeman beats up the same 3 minorities for 4 hours straight. Because yeah, they made 3 character. Yeah, he beats up the same 3 Latinos for the entire game.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
That's the game. You even have to go to the same rooms over and over in a way that doesn't seem extremely plot motivated. Like, they just didn't want to make more environments for you to fight in.
No, what if you just go to the subway again?
And the Sucker Punch, for anyone who doesn't know yet, this is made by the people who made Prey 2006, so that's a real shame.
Yeah, basically the last game.
Hey, Bob, did you have anything else you wanted to bring up? Like shadow lightning powers, the amount of times chat hit "that's my mom" on the second playthrough. The fact Vox couldn't watch the first playthrough because whispering bugs her, and I totally get that.
Yeah, we whispered all the way through the first playthrough.
Well, yeah, because that's the quiet playthrough. Then we did the loud playthrough where Bob changed from Silent Bob to Raucous Bob.
And started saying the quiet part out loud.
Oh, no. Bob. I don't want to do an apology video for you two. Don't say the quiet part. In fact, don't even say things that might have quiet parts. How about that? We can nip this off at the butt.
Okay, gotcha.
But is it better than Left Alive? You know, people pose that a lot. And,
probably. Yes. Left Alive, I've played a little bit of. It's
what I've seen of Left Alive is that it's like even less complete and significantly more ambitious.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way of putting it.
And that was the Quiet Man segment. We also played Hey Pikmin. Now, Hey Pikmin, for people who don't know, is a 3DS game in the Pikmin series. It came out 4 years after Pikmin 3. The 3DS is not capable of a normal Pikmin game, so RZS, the people behind Balan Wonderworld, made a 2D platformer that has Pikmin mechanics. In this task, they have succeeded. Bob, what are your thoughts on Hey Pikmin?
That seemed like a perfectly fine 2D version of Pikmin. Like, really reduced all the mechanics down to their basic minimum of making a platformer like that. So you use the Pikmin to solve puzzles in a 2D space. It was fine. I don't know.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be fucking vile with the way Pikmin fans were talking about it.
Yeah, we heard this game was the worst. And really, it's just, this is a game that came out in 2017 on the 3DS, so it shouldn't be real.
And I'm like, guys, yeah, I already hated it for that reason. I didn't need to get you hating it for that reason as a feedback of how good the quality of the game underneath would be. Yeah, also there was one of our biggest Pikmin fans during that stream just goes, I don't like it when they turn a 3D game 2D. And I'm like, why didn't you say that before this? I was so scared for the stream. That stream's literally not called a death stream because between the 3DS capture unit and the reputation that game had, I'm like, Bob, we may just want to bail. This might just be a normal fucking stream like other normal people do.
One thing I did really get upset at. The game sets out to a goal. It's like you need to get 30,000 of these things, and then you've beaten the game, which every Pikmin game has something kind of like that, basically. Well, at least 1 and 2 did. You get all of that, and then the computer AI is like, actually, I lied. Do every level anyway.
Well, the thing was like, oh, we have enough energy to get home, but I lost a part, it turns out, so we actually need to find that part. And Bob's like, this is vile. I will kill you.
Thank God you didn't do your plan of grinding the first level for 3 hours to get the number.
No, that's why I didn't, because I'm like, there's no way. There's literally no way these fuckers didn't just do this as a bit. Because, I don't know too many video games that are like, oh, you did that and you didn't play half the content. Okay. Because no one trusts players or reviewers enough.
Right.
Except for Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. They're like, you walked into the end of the game. What do you want? You should have known better.
Now I'm going to knock you all down.
Yeah, no, that game was fine. It was neat. I really think it would have been better on a 3DS that wasn't the absolute largest 3DS possible with the capture unit installed, making it even slightly heavier. It definitely would have been better if we weren't plugged into an AC adapter, a USB, and a stereo jack.
Yeah, it would also have just been better if it wasn't designed around the 3DS and have regular buttons.
One might say it wasn't designed around the 3DS because the only thing that makes sense for the 3DS aspect of it is touching a touchscreen.
Yep.
Because what you do is to throw the Pikmin, you use the touchscreen to aim. And then they go off in that direction. And that's the whole reason we don't get to see a decent-sized view of the level. Because keep in mind, the top screen is the same as the bottom screen, right? So, like, you'll just see this much of the level, which most of the time you're inside. And then above that, you'll see an additional slightly wider aspect of that. And you need to keep looking up there to see things that are above you. And it's like, man, if they just did this as a normal 16:9 large TV, that would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay aiming with the right analog stick. Yeah, and you really can't say it's designed around the 3DS because the 3D literally does not work in that game.
Yeah, no, it's...
like, at all. It does nothing. You try to turn it on and it goes, no. Funniest thing about Hey Pikmin, though, title screen goes, hey... This is the entire bottom screen says this, okay? This is not a piece of text I am illuminating for comedic value. This is the message of... hey, hit the home button to quit playing. Like, I've never had a game that boots up that was just like, hey, turn me off.
You boot up a game and it just pops like, if you feel a gnawing sensation in your torso, it means you should eat food. If you're having difficulty keeping your eyes open and your head up, you should find a flat surface to lay prone on for 6 to 8 hours.
Before playing, consider how is your social standing among your friends? Are all of your relationships healthy? Maybe focus on those first. And I'm like, The Sims, I don't need this from you.
Some next level Master Miller shit from Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, that game's fine. Why were Pikmin fans scaring us so much? I don't understand.
They acted like it was the worst game ever made. It was crazy.
Yeah, they acted like it betrayed them.
And left them somewhere.
Left them somewhere. I don't know, park bench, I'm guessing. That game's neat. I don't know that I would go out of my way to play it unless you like playing things on the 3DS, which makes you a very different person from me to begin with. Yeah. If you're like, hey, I like the 3DS and I want to play a game, then sure, yeah, go ahead. Hey, Pikmin's neat. I don't think anyone would come out of that being like, it's a fucking piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's literally executing exactly what it wants to do, and it's whether or not you're interested in that, you know?
Yeah.
Anything else?
nothing else. Like that's what that game was.
Luckily, we did not play any other video games ever. I played more Pistol Whip.
You too?
I know. Sorry to sound like I'm cribbing from aggro here, but I played Pistol Whip. The game's still amazing. The game is still my game of the year. I'm in the top 100 on a lot of songs doing the dual wielded pistols on PSN, and I'm in the top 1,000 for a great number for global rankings on everything. You know what really helps Pistol Whip is it having a great soundtrack, period, and not like, oh, these songs are suitable to. No, these are good songs, and they're even gooder to do cool John Wick shit too. That is a great ass video game. Yeah, I guess that's it.
We also played Diablo 4. This is my first time playing the full release.
Bob bought Diablo 4 because me and my brother were playing it.
Yeah, I wanted to. I like hanging out with Steve too.
Yeah, Steve's cool.
Yeah.
Bob, the idea wasn't to portray you as I was trying to hang out with my brother and Bob invaded. Oh yeah, we forgot to cover the part of like, Bob, you also got better at Pistol Whip because you mentioned that thing of like, I've gotten pretty good at dodging.
Yeah, I have to like move my chair back when Dan's playing it to try and avoid him.
Bob's like trying to use his computer. I'm like, just start swinging my arms back at him.
I still have not played Pistol Whip at all yet.
You really should.
Yeah, I should try it.
You should definitely play it right after me. It's just so good to put on VR headset that's saturated in human
just
sweat.
moist.
Yeah, that's kind of when I know to stop playing. Is when it gets a little aquatic in there.
You should try Pistol Whip sometime. That is a
Yes.
great fucking video game.
But-
Now time to talk about Diablo 4, I suppose.
Yeah, that's the first time I played the full release. At right near the end of our play session, which was after a few hours long, I was like, "So what act are we in, guys?"
So we had been playing for something like 6, maybe 5 at least hours. It had been a decent amount of time. Reminder, I've only done 2 play sessions with this game outside of the beta. This is the second one. Bob's like, yeah, what actor? When are we getting to the next act? And I'm like, Bob, we are almost done with Act 3. You joined us for all of Act 2 and almost all of Act 3 now. And Bob's just like, what? I thought we would go somewhere different. I'm like, no, this is...
Yeah,
it's a big continent.
Then I realized
That's the game.
It's all one big open world. I thought it was going to be multiple smaller open worlds.
No.
That were really unique looking. Instead, it's like, oh no, it's all kind of the same.
Some parts are icy, and other parts are deserty, and other parts are blood cave.
Yeah, the blood cave was cool. That was like the coolest thing in that play session. Everything else just really faded into we're still in Act 1, right?
Diablo 4 is a perfectly suitable game to listen to a podcast and talk to friends simultaneously and do as many other things at the same time as playing it as humanly possible.
Yeah, that game is oatmeal.
That game,
like plain.
Well,
plain oatmeal. Like there's nothing in there.
Which one would you rather do? Play Diablo 4 or play Far Cry 6? Because I think Ubisoft games are the definitive oatmeal simulator.
Diablo.
Yeah, I'd have to actually play the newer Far Cries. Because I haven't played them since 3.
I enjoyed 6 more than Diablo 4, but that's me. Aside from when it broke and teleported me to the end of the game to show me a cutscene way too early. But that was I got that copy before launch thing. Hopefully it's not still doing that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Diablo, I don't feel like I'm really like even the act of playing it's really just me mindlessly clicking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I do think there's something definitively lost when you make the game keep dropping potions for you, so you never have to worry about a finite supply of potions that will run out and then go to down. There used to be a flow.
Yeah, there used to be a flow to it, and now it's time to like just keep going, fight the Fleshmeister again.
Yeah. Well, we definitely fought him the most in the beta, so that's good. I was really worried the final game would have us fight 80 Fleshmeisters. So that's good. That's good that it didn't do that. the only thing I actually personally wanted to say about Diablo 4 on the podcast is my brother gave me an interesting, different perspective on hating auto leveling. We brought up back when the beta was out, this game auto levels the world to your characters, so that way you can join your friends and you will both be equally powerful. Even though my brother Steve is like level 53 and I'm level 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then he joined with a new character because it truly changed nothing. His wife fucking hates that because she wants him to carry her ass through the content.
Yeah.
And that had never even occurred to me as another angle of, oh, this sucks because blank. Like, that never once would have occurred to me. Like, no, her experience of playing with Steve in Diablo 2 and other games is Steve's ridiculous, hyper-optimized DPS bullshit carrying her through content so she could relax and just chill and hang out with him.
I mean, that makes sense. Like, that's something I also, like, miss.
Right.
Like, the point of playing Diablo with Steve is you are watching a cutscene. The cutscene ends. Every single monster in the dungeon is already dead. And he's like wondering why you aren't at the boss yet.
Yeah. And so, like,
it has probably stolen all of your gear.
Don't worry. You don't have to worry about the drops anymore. He solved that.
Imagine if, like, they went to WoW, to World of Warcraft, and are like, yeah, we changed it so your max level friend can't carry you through the early dungeons anymore. Like,
right.
You can't just go in with him and he clears it out for you. And I'm like,
mm-hmm.
That's one of the advantages to have, like, that's how you get more people to play your game. The person who is more invested can drag the person that isn't.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's crucial. And seeing characters who are that strong is supposed to be, as they carry your ass through thing, an almost aspirational moment and figure.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to look at them, be like, holy shit, look at all that stuff he's doing. That's crazy. I hope to do that. But since he's as powerful as you, I go, damn, you are like clicking a lot of things. And I am not. Yeah. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say because it was an interesting perspective, completely different to my own, of why auto leveling sucks.
Right.
And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you have anything else you want to say about Diablo 4?
No, it really was just that. What do you mean we've got you 2 hacks moment?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it, but I will tell a story about how Diablo 4 went for us. My brother could not recognize from the name alone Carmel Danson, which came up because a YouTube video entered my fucking algorithm. So I just for hours I maliciously sent him, I'm like, hey Steve, check out this piece of equipment I got, and I would just send him a different meme from 2008 over and over and over.
I was relieved he knew the rest of them.
Yeah. I was surprised that he didn't know Carmel Danson, but you get all the rest of them on frame 1, which was really funny because I'm like, how the fuck did you forget? How did you miss Carmel Danson? How did that happen? That doesn't make fucking sense, man. Anyways, that was the most fun I had playing Diablo.
Yeah, no, there's fun to be had in Diablo, which has nothing to do with the game.
Yeah, it's a perfectly suitable game to play with people if you really just don't want to even pay attention to the game and want to keep sending them dead memes and just being like, "Hey, Steve, check this out. This is a great thing." And he's like, "That is Ceiling Cat again." And I'm like, "That is correct, Steve. Good job on that." And I'm like, "Hey, Steve, here's a cool little piece of equipment. What do you think about my equipment?" I think it's pretty neat. Hey Steve, I got some other equipment over here next to Bob. Do you want to check out this equipment?
Watch out, dude, you're gonna get us claimed.
Hey Steve, we got some other pieces of equipment. Oh man. Yeah, I was just floored that this motherfucker did not know Carmel did.
Has Orihime spun the leak yet in Bleach? Did he
Yeah,
get
that
to
was
do
that was season 1.
Yeah, and I lost it. I was like, she
that
did
was
the
300.
thing!
That's so fucking long ago at this point.
Yeah, it's in like the first 10 episodes. I freaked out when it was that early. I was like, oh no.
Oh no, everything memorable gone. Oh man.
What do you mean? Jinkari is right there. None of us will ever be able to forget him.
Yeah, I made a joke to Bob about restructuring Chugging Bleach to have a worse character segment, and I was like, Jinkaria would just win forever despite not being in the episodes, right?
I'm sorry. The further we get out from Jinkaria, the funnier he becomes.
So you're gonna bring him in for best character, is what you're saying?
No, there's the new funniest character section.
Oh, okay. Worth noting for anyone who hears us talking about Pistol Whip and has a VR headset for PC, there's currently an Upload VR Showcase Humble Bundle, which has a ton of games, one of which is Pistol Whip. And so maybe look into that. I'm going to post a link in chat for anyone watching. You can Google Upload VR, all one word, and then Humble Bundle, and it'll bring it up. I figured out how to say that since the timer's still going on that. I don't know how much longer it has, but at the very least, it's going right now. Anyway, let's see. We did Diablo 4. Talked about Orihime. We talked about really good memes. Like Ceiling Cat. The best part, I said Steve one. I was like, check out this piece of equipment. He's like, that's Ceiling Cat. I'm like, oh, Steve. Shockingly, that is an HD reproduction of Ceiling Cat. Someone explicitly went out of their way to recreate because the original image wasn't high enough quality for them. That's insane. Why is that on the internet? Dan, was it you? No, I wish.
Yeah. You don't have access to a cat to put in a ceiling.
Yeah,
a ceiling that's
yeah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna
removable.
cut a square in the fucking ceiling,
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to do everything to avoid.
I played one other thing other than the Team Next Fest stuff.
Okay, what's that?
The Wonderful One, the DLC for Wonderful 101. They finally put out the end of it.
Let me update the text.
Let me ask you a question about this DLC, Bob.
Okay.
Should they have made it?
Absolutely not. In no world should they have made this. They're selling it separately for $10 now.
It says a lot when I am like the biggest booster of that game, maybe on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked at that and I'm like, no.
Yeah, after I played this, I tweeted about how bad it was. And then that Podlord, you know the one, he came into my reply to say, yeah, not even I'm interested. It's about a character I don't care about. That's how bad this is.
The number one thing people say when they beat that game is fuck that kid.
Yeah. I don't know what inspired them to do this. I ended up playing the first half again because I thought it didn't record my save file, but then I found out that I just hadn't downloaded the new half of the DLC. So
wait, what happened because of that misunderstanding, Bob?
I played the first half again. I played all of it. And luckily, it's not that long, except all the cutscenes, which are most of the length.
That's okay, though. You played the first half. It's not like you have to do that again. Nothing for the first half comes back in the second half of the DLC.
The second half of the DLC are re-fight bosses I did in the first half.
Oh my god.
But, you know, it's fucking alarming how consistent that is across all DLC. I always have people ask me, hey, are you going to play this DLC for this game? And I'm almost always like, no, the vast majority of DLCs that aren't like explicitly PC-style expansion packs for computer RPGs are bad.
Yeah, it's tragic. You know, I say I'd refight bosses. The most insane one, final boss. First phase of the final boss is a boss I had already fought. How?
Guys, I've so selfishly looked across the room to Bob playing a thing and just felt sick looking at it. This thing's so fucking... We didn't try. Give us $10.
The villain that they introduced, they teased at the end of the last thing, Wanna, voiced by Stephen Bloom, says nothing. Literally not a single line of dialogue. Laughs. That's it.
Cool. Great. That's so cool.
Don't play this. Do not. It's both an incredibly bad platformer and an incredibly bad twin stick shooter.
Man, don't you wish it was as good as Hey Pikmin?
Yes. Hey, Pikmin is 10 times better a game.
Yeah. No,
Easily.
Yes, it's not close. It's not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what inspired them to make this. It's just upsetting that it's here. I can't.
So-
The coolest part was the credit sequence, which is literally just levels, but with the credits that you can shoot at. I'm
Okay.
like, wow, this game's better when I don't have to worry about enemies shooting back because, oh god, it's awful to play.
Yeah, for people who somehow don't remember from the first... This is not more content for Wonderful 101.
No.
This is some crude, horrible 2D platformer they made out of that game's assets.
Mm-hmm.
For unrecognizable reasons. I have one question for you, Bob. Was the moment you backed this on Kickstarter the traumatic event that got you here in Beland's Wonderworld?
I guess. God, why did I do that? I wanted to give this game another chance. I didn't think it'd also lead to me having to play their terrible DLC. I don't know. I don't understand.
I'm sorry this happened to you. I am genuinely sorry.
And also, the whole thing takes place, I believe, before the end of Wonderful 101. So it's not even
What?
not even forward-moving content.
Oh my god. Great.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Okay.
I can't anymore.
Okay.
Anybody else have questions about the Wonderful 101
Yeah, do you have any
DLC?
questions, class?
Does it have a sequel tease for another game at the end?
No.
It's
not even.
over.
Yeah.
It's over.
This is a good question coming in from chat. Why? I don't know.
Platinum needs to learn how to fully let me customize buttons. That's standard these days.
That's true, yeah.
Why is it not here?
I don't know.
They've made the worst button control scheme they could have. Because they made a twin stick shooter where a jump button is on the face buttons.
Fuck off!
Yeah.
This isn't hard!
You have 4 shoulder buttons. There aren't that many movement options. There's a dash, a jump, and that's it. Just put those on the shoulders. And there's no way to do it.
Wow.
Yeah. How do you make that mistake?
I don't know.
The year's 2023. We've had twin stick shooters since the launch of the PS3, at least.
Technically, the 360 with Geometry Wars.
Yes.
So, there is no excuse. So-
Rancid game.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. Welp. You can finally escape the Beland Theater because you've cleansed yourself of this trauma. I guess that means we have to dance now, right?
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
right.
Bob. Okay.
No.
We gotta. Okay. That's. Hey, Chris, what have you been playing?
So I'm playing Live a Live. I have not beaten it, but I'm going to talk about it now anyway because I'm at the end pretty much, and I can't see the end drastically altering how I feel about the game. It's not going to move the needle very much.
All right.
I think that game's really neat. I feel like the context that remake came out in like I'm not playing it to play some unbelievable super game that nobody's ever played because it didn't get localized. Like I'm playing it to know.
Mm-hmm.
And it is really fun to know because there's so many things that I get to see. Oh, Saga Frontier just came from this game as one of them.
Oh yeah, no. As a Saga Frontier fan, I boot it and go, "Oh shit, it's just Saga."
Yeah.
There's that. It's the game that really inspired Toby Fox, and its influences all over Undertale and Deltarune. It's just kind of like the experience of I played Undertale day one sitting, knowing nothing about it. Nobody playing it in 2023 could ever have that experience ever again. Like there's cultural context around it and discussion around it and expectations that have been set by the discourse and all this. Like you can't get that pure experience ever again.
Right. Yeah.
And that's how I feel about Live a Live. It's like I'm not going in like I'm going in to know because I want to know like the things people say about it and I want to see all that stuff. Like I want to see the weird stealth segment. I want to see the cowboy segment. And I've really liked it. It really is one of those games where it's like they had a lot of ideas and we're on the Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
And to its credit, it like nothing's broken or terrible. It works pretty well.
Yeah.
I think the combat system is really neat, and I'm kind of surprised they never made like a straightforward game with that battle system in it. Because I do think that battle system is pretty cool.
I believe, this is from a cursory glance, that game that Share G Tables has in Steam Next Fest seems roughly inspired by Live a Live because it has a combat grid. But that's probably just me thinking that.
These HD2 games sure look nice.
Yeah, they do. See you at the news segment, fellas.
Yup.
and Live a Live sure has a great soundtrack. But yeah, I recommend everybody go play it because it is like a crucial piece of culture. And if you're one of those people who's like, I need to know like the pillars of especially RPGs, if you're like if you want to know like the history of the RPG genre, I do think you need to play this. Like it is important in that sense. But just don't go into it expecting like this is gonna be a game as good as fucking Chrono Trigger. And it's like, no, it's not. Like, but it can't. No, it's unreasonable to expect that. And also, there's the fact at this point in my life, I've played so many games. I'm like, yeah, there's no such thing as a secret 10.
I mean, the thing with Live a Live is a lot of it is the novelty and tone of it.
Yeah, which isn't as impressive 25 years later.
I mean, one might even say it's really not as impressive even in a post-Saga Frontier 1 and 2 world. Because it is insane to, RPGs of that time didn't have 6 or more main characters, all with different origin stories. That didn't happen. But then we have 2 Saga Frontiers in a row during the PS1 generation that just are that.
But yeah, it's fun to go, oh, I bet Wild Arms was inspired by this a little bit, because the way Wild Arms 1 through 3 start is you pick each character in a row and do their intro segment, and then they meet up and the actual game starts. And that's in the first 3. Or, all the stuff with Toby Fox, like I just said, or Saga Frontier. And it's really funny that one of the chapters is just aliens.
It's also God, what is that?
Space Odyssey.
Yeah, Space Odyssey.
2001: A Space Odyssey. And some of it's really goofy, where it's just like what is that? This guy's just gonna eat mushrooms until he dies. That's a plot point. That's fucking weird. But yeah, it has lots of neat ideas. It's really historically important. I don't think any part of the game's bad. But yeah, like it's really just I need to play it for my self-edification.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm realizing I
It's
would have
like-
liked that a lot more if I didn't finish it. I just stopped where Chris is right now.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
if
no,
it massively changes my viewpoint at the end, I'll come back and report on it. But I'm pretty confident it won't move the needle very much.
And we will play Balan Wonderworld music again.
But yeah, it's like when you go watch a movie that was really important and you're like, this is fine, but it's not like impressive by modern standards. Which is how that kind of thing goes.
I mean, sometimes
Nothing to-
mediums
nothing to be
evolve
done
and move
about it.
forward, right?
Yeah.
I can think very few games that haven't contributed overall to the genre they're in and are 10 out of 10s, except for, well, I don't know, if there was one game ever of all time that was just so perfect and unique unto itself that it was never topped ever again in its own franchise or genre, I guess it would be Super Mario RPG. Oh, God.
I also played through. I streamed it. Mega Man ZX.
Oh, you did finish it.
Yeah, that
Cool.
game's only like 6.5 hours long. So Dan, you were wrong.
Okay, how?
There are no combat rooms in that game.
Holy shit!
Whoa.
I'm starting to be very afraid that they didn't get combat rooms into their brain until Keiji Inafune was like, "Let me give you advice on mechanics and structure."
Keiji Inafune comes in and gives them the illegal American athletic drug that's in like Shaolin soccer.
Mega Man ZX certainly feels better than any of the Zero games. Like on a control level, it feels like an X game, which I don't think the Zero games quite get to that level. There's this little bit of disconnect between dashing and jumping or chaining together dashes that is not there on ZX. ZX felt almost as smooth to me as like 30xEX.
Wow.
The story's real dumb, but whatever. Like
It decreates,
I-
huh?
I don't even think the story's dumb. I think it being a part of the Mega Man timeline is dumb. I think if it was
I get that.
separate from the Mega Man timeline, it was like this is like the Mega Man version of Turn A Gundam,
Hmm.
where it's like we're in like we reference the old stuff, but and imply that we're in the future, but we're not actually. This is a separate timeline.
Wouldn't that be awesome if we had maintained that separation of church and state with Mega Man all the way through? And it's like, no, X is a part of the universal century, but
Yeah, it feels like Zero and ZX just shouldn't be in there. Like, they're too weird.
that'd be so good.
So the conceit of this game is it's like 200 years after the end of 04. Reploids and humans have apparently gotten so close to each other structurally that there's functionally no difference. They can procreate.
Hmm.
So you're a transporter transporting something for the Guardians who deal with like Maverick outbreaks, and they actually go a little bit into. They go shockingly more than Mega Man X does into, yeah, they just fucking call whoever does anything they don't like Mavericks.
That's good, because if you're gonna keep using that word, for the love of God, define it.
Yeah. Wait, now that humans and Reploids are basically the same thing, they're still like, yeah, Maverick. It's just an outlaw, I guess.
Well, they have they also have the thing that they do is they use a term that I think X4 or X5 uses, which is called mechanaloid,
Yeah.
which is to refer to anything that is not like a Reploid. It's not sentient. It's just a robot.
Right.
Just a dump truck.
So
no, literally.
So most of it is that. But anyway, you're transporting what is called a biometal.
Yep.
And it's a Power Rangers transforming device that turns you into Mega Man or Zero
Yep.
or any of the guys from the Zero franchise. To the extent that I think in ZX Advent in English they yell Mega Merge and do it,
I think that's right. Yeah.
and in Japanese they yell Rock On.
They should have just kept it.
They should have, and that's a big thing because it's like, no, if the biometal, you're a Mega Man. And I
Yeah.
laughed when it's like, yeah, Zero was the red Mega Man, and I'm like, he's not Keiji Inafune. I'm sorry, no matter how many times you put that into something you're involved with, he will never be Mega Man. So you go around.
Sorry.
You go around and it's outside of the stupid fucking faux Metroidvania structure, which, by the way, go get a world map. They exist. That makes the game go from a nightmare to entirely playable instantly.
Yeah, that's I should have. I don't know if I had those resources at the time. I was never able to beat this game because I just got completely lost.
Yeah, you just look at the fucking map and it's like, oh, I need to go here. Okay, I need to go there. Okay, and then once you get to those there, it's just normal ass. Like, there's no actual interconnectivity like a Metroidvania. It's just a couple of hub areas and then Mega Man levels attached to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really weird.
So you go fight 8 bosses, and the first and as you beat the first 4, you get access to transformations based on the 4 guardians from the Zero games. There's a lot of fucking mechanics I didn't bother internalizing, like the wind one shows you where you shouldn't hit the boss. Cuz
What?
Because they got rid of almost all the stupid mechanics, but there is still one, which is every boss of the main 8 has a spot you're not supposed to hit them because that damages the biometal they have. And all that does is your special weapon bar for that form will be smaller the more the biometal is damaged. And you can just pay to have it repaired, so it literally does not matter.
Okay, I was like, literally, if you do this, you get a worse version of the metal forever.
You also eventually unlock refight, so you can just refight them at a higher level and it's free.
Okay.
But yeah, it feels pretty good. Inti Creates has this weird problem where they really fucking obviously write a big story and split it into multiple games. So this game just felt like filler story-wise.
That's weird. Don't they change the characters in the next game though?
Yes, they do.
What?
But it's and this was in 0-2. Like, Mega Man 0-2 basically doesn't matter at all.
What?
Like, you fight this random dude who isn't important and dies at the end and has nothing to do with the game before it or after it.
So Jin Karya showed up. You ended his life, and he just kept going.
No, Bob. In Mega Man ZX, it's the Professor Viper from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, to the extent he looks exactly like him and is named Serpent.
Oh man, if you're craving from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Oh, that's rough. Come on. Pick a better Yu-Gi-Oh! At least.
Not a whole lot on the story element. You know, the main character's fine, but she mostly just, like, you know, Mamoru, I'm gonna protect everybody, Mamoru. I'm gonna fight for my ideals, Mamoru, whatever. It's fine.
Wait,
it's
why
fine
does they
for
say
a Mega Man
Mamoru
game.
so much?
And then I fought the super boss, which is fucking bullshit. Because it's Zero.
Of course.
And he has like every single move from Mega Man X4 and all his super moves, and he can heal. And he can fucking Akuma teleport at you, and the only reason I even successfully beat him is because I used the lock-on features that you can turn on in the menu to, like, because it had bonus stuff if you have Mega Man 03 or 04 in the Game Boy Advance slot.
Oh, okay, cool.
And all that did was unlock bosses from those games that you could fight in an optional area. And if you beat the set of them, you got an item that turns into the ultimate biometal, the Omega biometal, which is just, yeah, you have infinite super meter and all your attacks do more damage and you're a super badass version of Zero.
Cool. Like the ultimate armor, you know?
Right?
Sometimes you want to do a thing that's cool to get a thing that's fucking broken. It's one of my favorite things in a video game, actually. I love the ultimate Keyblade.
But I'm surprised that I definitely liked this more than any of the Zero games. Like, it felt much better to control. Screen crunch isn't as big an issue because it's on the DS. Like, the assets are all still roughly the same size as the Zero game, so you just have more screen space.
Which, you know, thank God.
Yeah, I remember.
Thank God the DS being slightly higher res made basically no one go, we should make the sprites bigger.
Right.
And everyone go, what if we just saw further?
Yeah, I also had that same experience way back when I tried it before. It was like, this seems way better, but I can't figure out where to go. So
it has much better game feel than Zero games. And it has really great bosses. Like that's the thing Indie Creates is best at. Like the big guy, the big one of the the Maverick type guys, the one that I would say, I'll crush you.
I'll punish you.
He has this really cool move where you're fighting him on there's 3 tiers of platform. He'll shoot a fucking giant missile up into the sky and then stick his arms and legs and head into his armor and not move. And you have to get on the other side of him from where the bomb goes off because it's a full screen bomb. So it'll it'll be like it'll have like a cone effect out from where it detonates, but his body will block it, and you had to stand behind him. And I thought that was very neat. So yeah, I think that's probably winning the Inti Creates game contest right now.
That's what I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask if it was there.
I'm starting to become deeply afraid that I'm gonna be like, yeah, Keiji Inafune gave them advice for Azure Striker Gunvolt. He just turned that entire company into trash.
It's funny because Mighty Number 9 is largely blamable on having to make a 3D, 2D platformer and them not being prepared to do that in the least. Because, we were talking about with Mighty Gunvolt Burst, they take the same bosses and give them a lot more interesting and discernible of patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's 2D and that's easy.
Yeah. But we know for a fact that they were making a fairly straightforward 2D platformer with Azure Striker Gunvolt and Keiji, who's like, what if you added this weird speed running and scoring mechanics? And they were like, and then they did.
Oh, yeah, and he just does that because he's like, speed running is popular. I know what speedrunners want.
Yeah. No, you don't, man.
So yeah, I'm very excited to see. I remember I've beaten ZX Advent. I remember liking that game.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember that because it's ZX Advent because you get the Axle medal. The Axle Biometal. So you can just turn into any of the bosses. Like it's not a form, you just turn into that sprite.
Yeah.
Right.
And I thought that was cool, and I remember it having less of a confusing structure than ZX.
Then he turns to the Durga and run down the hallway.
Yeah.
But I also remember it being much longer.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how that's going to pan out.
I'm gonna say ZX only being 6.5 hours kind of blew my mind. So.
Yeah, I also thought that was way
and
longer.
like an hour of that was me doing the optional bullshit. So it probably would have only taken like 5.5.
That's crazy.
Yeah, surprisingly, we have not yet gotten to the problem where there's just there's just filler. And I'm really afraid that we're going to get to Azure Striker Gunvolt, and that's all their weird obsession in that franchise, at least, with true endings is going to be. But yeah, those two things were the only thing I really played.
What is the next? Whatever, I'll save that for the plug segment at the end. What the next indie game is? Hey, Bob.
Hey, what's up? Everything okay over there?
Yeah, I hear you play some games. Next.
There's the Steam Next Best Roundup.
Woo!
It's time for the Steam Next Best Roundup, everyone. Can we get some yippies in chat? Oh wait, no, you can't because you're silenced. Hey Bob.
Hey.
Let's talk about the Steam Next Fest.
Yep, the first demo I played, Eternites. We've been seeing this at various shows throughout the year. This is, I feel like an insult to Kmart to call this Kmart Persona.
Jesus.
Yes,
I'm here to defend the honor of Kmart.
Yeah, that's really, I cannot overstate how much that downplays Kmart in the situation. It is so rough an estimation of Persona. It starts with a bunch of dialogue about setting up a dating app because it's a more mature, like they're older Persona characters, so they're talking about going on dates all the time, and they're very cool. And this dude who I put in the screenshot who's talking, he's like the nightmare mix of Junpei and Yosuke from Persona 3 and 4. They just take all the worst elements and made one horrible human. So yeah, nightmare. Also, this game is a zombie apocalypse game because they couldn't write anything else, I guess. It's literally just like, I started with a Persona plot. I don't know what to do. Just have a zombie apocalypse happen. Then we can do those tropes. So they do those tropes. And then it's a bad action game, which if you scroll down, you can see the what it looks like in a fight scene. You have an attack button and a dodge button.
What do you mean, an attack?
So it's all about doing time dodges to get perfect dodges and then slowing down time and hitting them, and it feels terrible. There's one combo, and then you can do focused attacks, which are weird QTE attacks that feel awful and look bad. This game is really, really rancid.
Yeah, it did keep looking like it was sneaking into the shows we saw it on.
Yeah, I don't know how this gets propped up like it did. Like, it doesn't feel like a game that should ever be at a big show.
Yeah, I don't get it. This game doesn't have volcanoes, highs, goodbyes.
Yeah, I was
any of the
literally
things.
thinking, like, wasn't this also at a big Sony show?
It was at a Sony State of Play. I don't know if it was a bigger one than that.
They just have the worst fucking tastemakers when it comes to picking these indie games.
They sure do.
Yeah, so that was somehow worse than expected. The next thing I tried out was The Devil Within.
Is there a devil
wait,
within too?
It's real? No, wait, I'm thinking of Little Devil Inside. God damn it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was like, what's he talking about? I don't think anyone's heard this. This is some random Chinese game I downloaded. It's a side-scrolling 3D action game. During the tutorial, the light attack button stopped working, so I couldn't complete the tutorial and turn the game off. So I tried Warhaven.
Oh, that's okay. Warhaven.
This is that multiplayer, competitive focused thing we saw a few times, where it's like knights.
Yeah.
In a third-person action game where it's like, you know, two teams against each other. It felt like 30 plus people on each team. It's pretty large in that aspect. Like, there's no AI characters like we suspected during some of that demo. It is all humans running at each other and trying to use melee attacks. I think the setting for it's really neat because we have these knights and it looks all medieval, but they drive up in tanks sometimes, in jeeps, like to drop them off, and sometimes they're flown in by dragons. Like, the world around this is really cool, but the game itself feels kind of janky and hard to judge proper distance on any of these melee attacks in a large multiplayer game. But it plays kind of like a Battlefield where you're capturing points to then have spawn points at different points in the level and trying to take more territory so you can build up your score and eventually win. If you build up enough like kill streak points and stuff by doing stuff like healing and killing guys, you can transform into an immortal, and those are like super powerful classes that have more advanced abilities. Like one dude just on a horse and can attack people from the horse.
Okay.
What's your immortal power? I get a horse.
Yes. It's neat, but it just feels so clunky. Like, it's really hard to actually aim attacks in this and for blocking to feel like it works. So, but it looks very nice, and I think that's neat. Next game I played.
Okay.
Luna Abyss.
Are you a prisoner? Am I?
This is weirdly a Metroid Prime like.
Huh.
You play as this weird genderless prisoner.
That has their arms strapped on via a chest strap that's bolted into their sternum.
Yeah, it's
Like
kind
that
of
is like they started with Cloud Strife and they messed with some sliders
my
until they
God.
got to this.
but yeah, you have target lock like in Metroid Prime. The areas are more large and explorable like in that, but they have enemies shoot out like bullet hell style patterns, which is what you see in the next slide. Yeah, and you actually dodge around that.
They really took those comparisons of Returnal to Metroid to heart.
Yeah, it does feel kind of like that. The world you're in feels kind of like the anime / manga Blame, with an explanation point at the end, where it's like you're in some sort of mega city or mega structure, rather, where it's not really clear what the intention of it is, but it's just gigantic complex. It's infinitely huge. And being commanded by some disembodied voice who talks about the Allfather.
Ooh.
So it seems pretty neat. There's also lots of creepy skull enemies. And you get different weapons that unlock different things, like a shotgun that could break shields. And that was used both for finding new stuff in the environment and for fighting enemies. So I was like, this seems cool. I was really shocked by how fun it was. Next game I tried was Toziyaha Night Order of the Alchemists.
Tozyuha. Night order?
Yeah.
Late night Uber Eats order of the Alchemist. Okay.
It looks like a Castlevania game with kind of bad pixel art.
Yeah, I'm looking at this like this does not look good enough. Like it looks good enough in that I think in that first screenshot. Never mind the fact that a joke about a chicken in the wall makes me want to vomit.
Yeah, that's like the first thing you see. I had to get in
that
there.
sprite of her running and the big lady is like, no, I'm sorry,
the
you're
main
not good enough.
character. The main character looks significantly better than all the sprite work in the game.
Yeah, I'm seeing that right here.
Yeah, that's one of the better looking NPCs. The enemies are horrid. I should have grabbed a picture of them too. I'm sorry. I did not put that in there.
I just don't like the perspective on the house in the background, given the rest of the pixel art.
Oh, yeah,
design. That doesn't actually make any sense.
Oh yeah, none of the pixel art matches up. It's all seems incredibly amateurish. It feels bad. There's a nightmare menu system that has 3 different layers to it that don't work properly, and I just stopped playing.
Yeah, let me explain. Y'all probably played Arya Sara, where it's like go select your soul, and then you have 3 souls. Now imagine like you can hit L and R to go between larger menu branches, but you can hit left and right to go in between menu branches once you're in that menu in your pause menu. I was like, Bob, what the hell is it doing? What?
Yeah. They shouldn't release a demo. They weren't ready.
That might as well be the subtitle of Steam Next Fest.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot during this. There will be a lot of things I had to stop playing. Through no fault of my own. But the next thing I played was Toxic Crusaders. This is based on the Saturday morning cartoon show.
That is based on the movie.
Yes. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. The art looks pretty nice. It feels really plain, though. And weirdly, you know how in a beat-em-up, typically to grab somebody, you like walk at them from, like, you get close enough to them and you can grab them.
Mm-hmm.
In this, there is a grab button.
Okay.
And it's very strange because you can grab people in ways you do not expect to. So it feels very cheap just to be able to like walk up and grab anyone without much resistance.
Can you clarify exactly what that means? Like your reach is further than you expect, or you can grab their attacks, or what are you trying to convey here?
You can since you can just hit the button at any point, there's not that much worry of having to get in. Like you can just mash it and hope that you get them. And it feels very strange and wrong.
I see.
They don't have an answer, you're saying.
Kind of.
Like you can just grab them repeatedly and they can't really do a whole lot about it.
Yeah, there's that. And then the balance is it feels like they just make some of the enemies really attack wildly and cheaply, but they give you infinite lives during this demo, so it wasn't an issue. I don't know. It just having the grab button on be a button doesn't feel right in a beat 'em up at all. Like you expect to be able to walk into someone from below and you auto grab them, or from above and auto grab them, and it just
I feel like
not
there's
like that.
a lot of beat 'em ups that do that. Maybe I'm misremembering. I feel like Streets of Rage does.
No, absolutely not. Because I was thinking Streets of Rage the whole time, like, oh man, this is like really janky feeling Streets of Rage.
I rarely get the time to explain a weird thing that happened. So I used to be a video editor on a series called The Video Game Years that aired on a website called RetroWare TV that used to host community talent like Rig from Retro Island Gaming, Pat the NES Punk, the gaming historian, and a bunch of other weird people in the retro scene, and Stop Skeletons for Fun. Anyways, point is, that site stopped because all these creators wanted to do their own thing, and websites as a hub for content stopped being relevant. So RetroWare sold themselves as a brand to that really big white dude who used to be on the AVGN's podcast.
Oh.
So that guy basically is RetroWare now, and they are making this game as the publisher and brand handlers. I believe Justin Silverman is his name. I do not keep up with this heavily, but anyways, so if you hear me say I used to work for RetroWare TV, that is very specifically not the people who did this. Yeah,
Right.
Screenwave Media is the name of the company who bought the brand RetroWare in order to make weird arcade cabinets and publish games like this.
Okay.
Yeah, what a weird thing.
It has a lot of voice acting, which is nice.
How many of them are YouTubers?
I don't know. It didn't really click. Like they all sound like they have microphones that are professional. It didn't sound like anyone was just obviously like wrong.
Did anyone
Like every
make
single-
you want to insert a screwdriver into your skull?
No.
Okay, so it doesn't have YouTubers.
Right. Like all the Toxic Crusaders lines were very delivered in a very Saturday morning cartoon style. I
Okay.
didn't go look up if these were the returning voice actors or anything though.
I really doubt,
Yeah, I doubt it.
because that would be 40 years ago,
Right.
almost.
But they were really on the money with
Well, maybe it was a 90s or cartoon. I don't know.
Yeah, it was only 30.
yeah, but but they were pretty on the money with the self-referential humor they were going for, because a lot of it was like, oh man, the Toxic Crusaders, we sure are. It sure has been a long time, or maybe only 1 week. Like
Okay.
a lot of that sort of stuff, and I'm like, it's kind of funny.
Okay, if you say so. Yeah. Feels like someone just got an old IP and wanted to.
Yeah.
That joke could literally go in anything.
It's true.
They could have done that in TMNT's Beat 'em Up.
They could have.
They could
Did
do
they?
this in literally anything and but done a lot.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
original. I'm saying they seem to be going for exactly this thing and are doing it.
Okay. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about it?
Not really. It seems fine. I don't like it's not. It's nowhere near as good as TMNT. It's nowhere near as good as Streets of Rage. It's not as good as River City Girls. It's really hard to sell this unless you are a fan of this old IP and really want to play this Toxic Crusaders again. I've never watched this cartoon, just so we're clear. Like I
didn't even know this was an actual cartoon. I thought this was some kind of parody thing because it's like, haha, wouldn't it be funny if the Freaky Trauma movies had a Saturday morning cartoon and we based a beat 'em up on it?
Yeah, that's the weird thing about Toxic Crusaders, the animated show. Like, half the population was in love with it and has no idea that the other half, who has never heard of it, exists, and vice versa.
Yeah, I also had to look this up on Wikipedia and make sure it was a real TV show.
I knew about it because it fits in the same slot and culture as the fucking Attack of the Killer Tomatoes bullshit, but even more like, you made a fucking cartoon out of that?
Right.
They made a cartoon out of fucking everything. Remember that bizarre phase where we were just giving stand-up comedians shows about their life?
Yep.
Remember the Louis Anderson show, the cartoon?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Hell yeah. Life with
remember
Louie.
the Howie Mandel one?
Yeah, wasn't there also a Camp Candy or whatever? John Candy or something?
Yes.
Yeah, it was weird.
Also, there's Bobby's World. That's the Howie
That's the Howie
Mandel thing.
Mandel
Ugh.
one. Yeah.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, that
because
was-
I've never
Yeah,
like
didn't
I just
realize
know
that
because
till
Bobby's
years
World
later.
that would haunted me.
It's just
Oh, and there was Bruno the
ghost
Kid
dog
where
reminded me to legally change my name.
Right?
there was Bruno the Kid where Bruce Willis is a child super spy that lies to his boss with a terrible CG model of Bruce Willis's face.
Yep.
Oh.
That was the thing. Yeah, no, that's what an era. What an era. Hey, Bob.
Yeah, I played some other stuff.
Cool.
Lords of Exile. This game was really cool. The screen capture button didn't work on Steam, so I don't have many pictures of it. This one's just from their Steam page.
Oh, okay.
But this is a Castlevania 3-like, but set in ancient Japan. Though you wouldn't know it, like you're playing some Castlevania levels. Like
Yeah,
none
it
of
just looks like fucking Castlevania. What? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
They added a few movement things, so you have a slide, which they don't make it feel like a new Castlevania slide. They make it feel like slower and more like, okay, you need to know if it's safe to do this.
Do you remember if it's like the Curse of the Moon slide? Because Curse of the Moon also gave.
No, it's also not like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. Wait, Curse them.
Yeah.
I was thinking Circle the Moon for a second.
No, Curse of the Moon.
Curse gave you a slide?
Uh-huh. It's one of the movement things that determines which character you need to play as to get past the thing.
All right. I don't remember it, so I don't know.
Okay.
You also have a diving sword attack, which is really cool, but hard to like place because he like freezes in midair and then slams down insanely fast. They use it for some traversal stuff, like you'll need to break open a barrier on the ground and that sort of thing. And it's pretty fun, but it is really hard to actually get accustomed to. After a level, you also unlock a stand. And it seems like you'll get different ones of these, but the one in the demo is a ghost samurai that sits behind you. And then you can charge up a meter that he'll shoot out an energy wave with. So you just charge the attack button and he'll shoot an energy wave, and that wave can blow up barriers in the world as well. So you'll need it, again, for traversal purposes. It was really cool. I wasn't sure going into it, but I was like, wow, they nailed making a Castlevania like. This feels really good.
Yeah, it looked really good. I saw Danilo Diaz, guy from, what was it, Blazing Chrome, and that other more recent thing that I still haven't even played, promoting this as a pretty cool thing on Twitter. And I was like, yeah, that looks sick. Just from the screenshot, I can tell you they're doing a really good job of adhering to the technical limitations of the NES.
Cool.
You can see how each sprite is composed of a set of colors, and they have to try through art design to make it look like it's more for the background and everything. It looks like it controls tight. I'm really excited for this game. Any idea when it's...
I don't remember if they have a date for it yet.
Okay.
It might be this year, just to be like,
Fuck
hey,
off!
one more thing.
No! 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 One sec, I'm gonna find out. It's right here. Okay. To be announced.
Okay.
I'm gonna email him and be like, not this year. Don't do it.
Yeah, I also played Echo Point Nova. This is some of the developers of Severed Steel, which I thought was a really cool, like, first-person Max Payne-like almost, where you could do slow down time dodges, and everything was set in these small, like, environments that were very arcadey. Like, you just clear a room of guys, and it was very stylized. Like, everything was dark blues and stuff. This seems to be their, like, oh, my last game wasn't a banger, so I'm going to try and make it a bigger game with RPG elements, and it's rough. It now looks like this really generic, like, castle environment, but you play as a robot. Everything's really well lit. It doesn't feel as good to move around.
Oh, what?
And you
Yeah,
have
the movement felt so bad. Like I was getting What Indie Hell flashbacks. Like this, you bought all this on the store and just got it working in Unity. Like what the hell?
Yeah, it's that bad. You get a grappling hook eventually that also feels rough, and you get a hoverboard, which just feels wrong, and like they decided things just don't work as well as they should. Like, you should, again, this was not ready for a demo. It looks really bad. If you draw into the second picture, you can see how the world looks. Yeah, it's just like this really generic, like, also the environment's destructible, which is neat. but also that lends towards it looking like just a weird Minecraft map. You get a sledgehammer so you can break open walls and stuff like it's Red Faction, but it doesn't make up for the game feeling so bad.
Yeah, hitting walls with that sledgehammer is awful because it removes a cube of wall and retextures the interior. So it now looks like there's a cube missing, not like you hit a wall with a sledgehammer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then later in the demo, they let you switch the sledgehammer out for a wind attack, which I was like, oh, that's neat. The wind attack can be used to like make a jump pad for me. But the wind attack also breaks the walls like a sledgehammer would. So it has these two different uses that are very much against each other because you'll shoot the ground and the ground will be gone, so you won't get a jump pad anymore. Like, how did you come to this? So that was really disappointing. I've been following this dev and watching them post pictures of this game for a while. And it's unfortunate to see how it is.
Mm.
The next game, Lunar Lux.
Oh, that's her mom?
Yes, this is a turn-based JRPG sort of game. This is the first thing you see when you boot the game. It killed me because I thought that she had a gigantic butt.
1 second. Chat needs to see this in a proper size because I could, the picture's over here so I can see it. But
right
there you go, chat. That's why he would say that. Caked up people can be sad too, Bob.
Yeah, she's at her mom's grave, just like, oh, I miss you, Mom.
Yeah.
Just, why is everyone so mean to me?
Yeah, why is everybody so mean to me?
Then I realized that's just how this artist does hands. Like, those are hands, like, facing towards the back of her character.
Maybe she's got her wrists on her hips and she's pointing her fists backwards and outwards. Sometimes people do that.
Sure. Yeah. Something like that. But after I got over that, this game was kind of neat. A lot of crazy, weird things. Like, if you scroll down, you see a picture where it's a diner.
You're going to have to give me a second on that, but feel free to continue talking.
Every single object can be clicked on and has a different text description.
Oh, that's neat. I like that.
Right? Like, it felt like one of those things like, man, this person really liked when that happened in RPGs and is like, no, every single square. I will describe every food on this table.
That legitimately is soul. Like, I remember when I bought that dog shit game for the DS, Nostalgia. And it was that game sucks shit. I should have known, but it was like, we're bringing back classic JRPGs, and I'm like, oh god, please, it's 7th gen sort of already. Please, I need anything. And it's like, oh, this is dog shit. And 40% of the carts have a progression breaking bug in them. The carts.
Ooh.
I've only seen this game on Steve, Dan's brother's bookshelf.
Yep. Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Bravely Default.
But yeah, this game's set on a moon colony, I guess, after Earth has been destroyed or has become unhabitable because, human excess. And now you fight interdimensional demons or monsters that can show up, but your character's conflicted and doesn't like having to kill these creatures, even though they're murderous creatures killing humans at random.
Yeah, but they're funny. They go,
yeah, they're hilarious.
They're so zany.
The combat system is turn-based and has a lot of mechanics that are Mario RPG / Mario and Luigi adjacent, where it'll be like, okay, do this special move, and then that will start a mini game. Like this mini game here is you have to time a little like arrow going across a multiplier gauge, kind of like a golf game.
Mm-hmm.
And if you land it right, you can get like, instead of a 1-time multiplier, it's 3 times multiplier for your damage. And sometimes, or for defending, you have similar stuff where you can build up a shield and then put that shield up to fully block an attack, but you only have so many pips of that. And sometimes bosses will even pull out hey, you have to play oh my god, not Deltarune, the first one. Undertale. You have to pull an Undertale like dodging enemy shots by playing a shmup, sort of thing. So they seem to have lots of neat ideas for combat, and the art is fairly nice.
Yeah, they did the thing that I've said like 4 times in the past month on this show, where it's like, yeah, go find a Twitter artist with a really distinct style and hire them for your game. And they did that. It's Twitter user Constellar. I recognized it as soon as I saw their art.
Yeah, it looks nice. And it matches the pixel art pretty well too. It doesn't have that weird divide you get in these sometimes where it's like, oh wow, those don't match up at all. But yeah, I guess that's all I got to say about this. It seems pretty neat. I'm not sure if you'll get more characters. It felt like it was just the one character and with lots of different abilities to use. So I wonder if that's going to expand out. The one fight you had multiple characters in, but they were like temporary guest characters who just auto attack. Next game I tried was Pizza Possum. We heard about this a few times during the summer of gaming and before.
This is that game with the pizza and that possum.
Yes, you go around this sort of isometric 3D world collecting pizza and anything you can eat, any food substance you eat as this possum while trying to stealth around dog guards.
You eat things other than pizza?
Yeah,
in
you
a
eat
game
everything.
Called Pizza Possum?
I know.
That's just possum.
Have you ever met a possum?
Yeah, that's not Pizza Possum anymore. That's just a possum.
But yeah, it's all weirdly, this demo is one big area that has checkpoints. I have no idea how this is going to like extrapolate into a full game, because even finishing the demo is just like, it's over, go away. There's no like end to the area. There's another locked door. So I'm like, is the whole game going to be just one gigantic area that keeps expanding? Or are you going to have separate levels I boot into? I genuinely don't know. It lets me lots of questions. But it's a fun little stealth game. I guess you can play it 2-player as well. Like, I obviously didn't do that, but that could be neat. As 2 people have to hide from these dog guards. You get power-ups in the levels, like just items that you can use to help you get away from the dog guards. Like there's one that makes you run fast, and then a bone, and you just throw the bone at them. It felt like that one was the one you'd want. Like the running away fast didn't make any sense, because if I had the bones, I could just literally, if I'm spotted, show the bone at the dog, and he's like distracted for a minute.
Why would I want to avoid violence when I can win at violence?
Yeah, I do not know what this game is largely. Like, it's so weird to play.
6 hours of eating pizza or trying.
And yeah, I was like, I don't. It feels rare that I go through a full demo like this and have no idea what the structure for your game is. How it expands out. Is it another 30 minutes? This whole demo is like 6 minutes or something. It was ludicrous. So I don't know. Next game, Dad by the Sword. This is a dungeon crawler where you play as a dad. That's the joke. I hope you like that joke.
That's my favorite joke.
Bob,
it's always great in everything except in Dream Daddy, in which case if you laugh at that joke, you're homophobic, allegedly.
I was gonna ask, is this dad who is by the sword dreamlike? Is he dreamy?
No. No, they go for the angle if he is just a dad. He in the intro video, they have an older dude who's got like a, oh my god, I'm trying to remember the Republican representative that was running before Trump.
Before Trump?
Yeah.
Marco Rubio?
Maybe? I don't.
Was it in 2012?
Yeah,
Are you thinking of Mitt Romney?
Pretty
yeah,
broad.
I think it was Mitt Romney.
Mitt, and also Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have him wearing a shirt like of that, and just smoking a cigarette and just being a regular dude. So then every power up is in like a tool case or a grill or some other dad related thing. It thinks it's very funny.
I feel like these kind of games don't fucking succeed anymore.
Yeah,
Bob,
like didn't that going under roguelike just totally fucking bomb?
It did. I have secondhand confirmation. It did. Bob, at any point did it make you go?
That's my dad.
No,
No.
not really.
Okay. Well, that's
It has a really weird sword swing mechanic that I think is supposed to be goofy more than fun.
That's a cardinal sin. Okay, Bob. How does it work?
So you got your mouse. You drag it to whatever side you want to swing from. Hit the attack button to get him to start swing, like pulling his sword that way, and then release it to get him to swing it back down the opposite direction of that. So, like, say you want to do
it's like a rubber band thing. First, you pull away from the direction you want to swing toward, and then you let go, and he swings that way. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. At first, I was like, "Is this a chivalry thing?" No, that's even more fucked up than that. Huh?
Yeah, it just feels awful.
Do they make a boing sound as your arm flies back?
No, but luckily they do have the like gruesome deaths on the enemies. Like they'll just slice off an arm and the blood will go everywhere.
Okay.
It has a blocking mechanic that works very similarly.
I gotta say, like, at some level, I have a mental block, and you called your name Dad by the sword. I don't want to give you the time of day.
That's fair. I stopped playing this because during the tutorial, I fell through the world and died, and then it spawned me. It spawned me behind a locked door I couldn't open. So I just turned it off.
Steam Next Fest. Real quick, in between games, because I feel like you're about to transition.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
I saw Shuhei Yoshida being like, quote tweeting someone being like, "Our demo's on Steam Next Fest." Or that he's like, their demo is, or they're like, "Our demo's on Steam Next Fest for the next week." And Shuhei Yoshida quote tweeted them and said, "Their demo's on PlayStation forever." And all I could think is, okay, that's a weird brag. And then secondly, like, maybe legally you probably shouldn't say that. There's a chance someone comes back in 10 years and wins a lawsuit because of this tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next game, huh?
Yeah, the next game. El Paso Elsewhere. This is Max Payne.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Really blatantly Max Payne. It has the same weird narration as Max Payne.
This was the game where they pre-baked the PS1 style texture dithering into the textures for the models.
Yeah, it looks really weird. I think the whole game's supposed to look weird. You're like going through hell to try and get to the center of some weird sphere of reality.
Dope.
To fight, because you're after your ex-girlfriend who is a vampire who is trying to end the world. So you fight vampires, werewolves, and all sorts of other weird creatures.
I gotta ask a question, Bob.
What's up?
At any point does our main character go, "Damn, she really was a bloodsucker"?
Not yet. It's more. He has a more serious tone.
Like,
this is Max Payne.
There's a whole game here. He could say it.
Yeah, he probably will, but it is, since this is the beginning of the game, it is
Okay.
literally directly that inner monologue you expect from Max Payne, where everything is weirdly hard boiled.
Yeah, I looked over and I was like, "Yeah, that's very Max Payne."
It even, like, they obviously are just a fan of that studio because it does that same logo thing that Control does. Of like you entered a new area and it's just gigantic text filling the entire screen.
I mean, that's just smart. Kill la Kill invented it. Control maybe perfected it. That's just a smart thing to do, if you ask me.
But yeah, if anyone out there has played Max Payne 1 or 2, it plays like same button scheme. Everything. You have the dodge forward slow-mo activation button on your right click.
Mm-hmm.
You have dual wielding pistols. You have the roll on like your shift button or control button. I can't remember which. And it's the same thing. The only thing different is now you have stakes you can get that you can make by like breaking furniture and just automatically if you can melee them with the stake, they are dead. Which feels really weird to do in a Max Payne game. It's like, dude, if enemies touch me, I'm taking damage. What's happening? Why? Yeah, it's really cool. I definitely just trying out this demo. I had a lot of fun. It is extremely overly serious, which works for its advantage in this case, I feel.
Definitely.
But yeah, that's neat stuff. The demo gave me like 3 levels to try. It said it was like a level 3, 5, and 18. That last level was really hard. I didn't finish that last level. So I guess that's it for that one. Moving on. I got to try Questmaster. This is one of those Zelda dungeon builders. Which I think there's 3 currently announced.
Yeah, Super Dungeon Maker's already out. This was announced at the Summer of Gaming, and yeah, people keep saying there's a third. I'm unaware of.
Yeah, this is the one published by Apogee. Man, this wasn't ready for a demo.
Oh yeah,
What's wrong?
What's wrong?
There's a bad tutorial that doesn't explain anything properly. It lets you open up the builder menu at any time, but has hundreds of options you just can't click, but they look exactly the same as the options you can and need to.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like literally just gigantic menus filled with things that don't work. I put the screenshot in. It says, hey, press this blank button, a button prompt that doesn't, like, I don't know why I'm supposed to press because it didn't load in.
Are you supposed to push shift? The shift is over here in the corner.
No, that progresses the text.
What about enter? I see enter all the way at the bottom right. Maybe that's it.
I don't know what enter does. I think.
All right.
Yeah. During the tutorial, I died, and then the whole game froze. So I stopped playing it. Yeah. Don't put your demo out if it's like this. Just don't. That's not doing good for anybody. If all you have working is level editor, just let me mess with that. Don't make a tutorial that's broken. Next thing I tried out, another space opera. I think it was called like Chapter 1 or something. This has some, it's kind of nice looking pixel art for your main characters, like for the actual playable stuff, but then the portrait pixel art just looks really weird and doesn't go, clashes with that pretty bad. Yeah, it's a side-scrolling, like, you point and click with the mouse to shoot, but then you move your character with the WASD buttons. So it felt okay to play, but then the level structure reminded me of X-Men on the Genesis, and I just had no...
So flawless.
Did you have to punch the demo in order to successfully boot the final level?
No, the game crashed before I could get out of the first stage.
God damn it.
1.1 for X-Men, 0 for another space opera.
PC gaming continues to be flawless.
All right. Then I tried Rise of the Triad Ludicrous Edition.
You're toast.
I never played Rise of the Triad before.
Yeah, I look over. He's been playing demos forever. I look over. He's just playing Rise of the Triad, and I'm like, "What the fuck caused this event to happen?" Because I didn't realize they had a demo.
They'll
for the
bury you in a lunchbox.
Yeah, this is a classic boomer shooter for people who don't know what Rise of the Triad is. You have 5 characters to select from.
You sure do.
It feels like most of them are a mistake because they have 2 stats that are important. They have, or 3, I guess, health, speed, and accuracy. Even the slowest character moves at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Yeah,
you can easily fly yourself off of the level and instantly die. So when I first booted it up and tried the fastest character, that's what I did. I did beat a level and this song played and I had a stroke because I was like, why do I know this? So this is Sippy's end to his videos.
Yeah, I was like, that's really great. Now Bob has played the game that's from.
Limited to Chris Gibbs, because of course.
Of course. Did you enter dog mode?
I did
Yeah,
not
did you
enter
get
dog
dog
mode.
mode?
I did not get that. I am not good at boomer shooters. This is not an easy boomer shooter either.
No, it's not.
Yeah, this is not. This like I bounce stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is fucking hard.
Yeah, it seems cruel. I beat the first level barely. This game gave me like 5 different levels to boot up. I always chose normal mode because I didn't want to try anything harder than that even. It is rough. It's really funny to see them do
Look up and down.
no, I was going to talk about looking up and down is really funny though.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
It's a Doom game. It's not designed to look up or down. So when you do,
It's so good.
everything stretches and it looks so weird.
It's
This
so
shit is why gamers don't look up.
Yeah, that's true because they'll get motion sick.
Maybe I was lucky to in Dark Forces to have it set up so page up and page down had me look up and down. It let me disconnect that from something I should ever do.
Right, and also, that was early enough in 3D graphics where you didn't have an established idea of how that should look.
Right? Yeah, so everything bends around your perspective if you do that. Man.
But yeah, this is running on, I believe, the Wolfenstein engine, so really quite the accomplishment to get that working.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, really impressive.
They also got working moving pillars. So
Yes.
there'll be pillars moving the level, and some of them are lava.
Yeah.
Other of them are regular pillars, though, that don't hurt me, the player. But if an enemy is standing near them as they move past, they instantly give.
Yeah.
They just...
Let me tell you how fun that is in multiplayer.
Oh my god!
Oh, I shouldn't have backed up into that. I'm dead now.
I've heard of Rise of the Triad for years.
Yeah, I won't shut
Decades
the
even?
fuck up about it.
I always assumed this was something about a gang war or something to that effect, like a triad fighting.
Well, one might say the Nazi Germany is a bit like a gang war.
But this seems to be about the Illuminati.
Yeah. Yeah. On a secret island with the whole thing. There's a whole thing.
Yeah. Sometimes enemies surrender, which is really weird.
Yeah.
It's
It's back when games had soul. Our enemies should be able to surrender. Why? So you can still blow them up.
right. Like that's what I always did because I felt like they were going to shoot me in the back.
Right?
And sometimes they play dead and then get up and shoot you.
Yeah, it's true.
Nice.
I got a rocket launcher. Like
Uh-huh.
it spawned me was a regular one. That was cool. But then it gave me a one that shot like 5 rockets at once. It's all just like go towards all the targets in the area. I'm like, oh, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is way too hard for me. I can't.
Well, yeah.
I'd have to play this with infinite health and just be like, yeah, God mode, turn it on.
Sorry, Bob. We don't have that. We have dog mode.
Oh God, is that what it is?
That's why it's called dog mode. You become as tall as a dog and you see your snoot and you kill things. It's fucking hilarious. It's so fucking good. Thank you, Tom Hall. You're so smart. Anyway, when computer super secret mind John Carmack made the Wolfenstein engine, Tom Hall said I could improve it. Now this Rise of the Triad is really good.
It is really cool.
It's really good.
I don't think I'll ever play the full game, but man, that was neat.
You should get it so we can do multiplayer, and I could be like, "Come on, Steve, let's do a Rise of the Triad LAN party." He's like, "No, no."
It is great seeing a game of this era in 1440p.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
It just looks clean in a way it should not.
So Bob, I'm gonna spoil what you missed out on.
Okay.
By not getting to play dog mode. Now, audience, you may want to brace yourself, okay? Because this is a lot to take in all at once, okay? Understand this is like you never thought this was possible ever in a video game before now, but this is how dog mode looks.
Oh my God!
Are you in fact on the hunt for begging strips?
Right?
Make these guys start begging for their lives.
Yes. So yeah, Rise of the Triad's a great video game.
Yeah, no, that's immaculate. But yeah, I grew up playing a ton of Doom and Doom 2.
Yeah.
I was not ready for how much harder this is.
Yeah, no, this is fucking insane.
Yeah, this is unhinged.
I played a lot of Wolfenstein and a bit of Doom in this. Yeah, I wouldn't say any boomer shooter is easy for me as a kid, frankly.
Fair.
Ugh.
I know I wasn't good at Doom, but I definitely was better than I was at this. Doom, a lot of enemies will die. In this, they're like, what, you don't have a rocket launcher? No, I'm going to take like 30 hits.
You didn't find the secret wall that opens up to get you the rocket launcher to make this possible? What, are you stupid?
There wasn't the random drop of the AK this time? Why are you even shooting me?
I wonder when this is coming out.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to be soon. This feels done.
This game from 3 decades ago feels pretty polished.
Right? This is, again, Night Dive Studio, so of course, really great port.
Okay, it's the end of July 31st.
Great.
The tail end of us having any remote free time.
Yeah.
I hope they survive and that Atari doesn't just pull out their spine because they're not a real company anymore. They're a weird con artist company.
Yeah.
So, Bob.
Yeah.
Did you I see.
Yeah,
there's more.
The last thing I played, The Master's Pupil. This was recommended to me by frequent viewer Roshiddenberg, made by someone he knows. But they added it on Steam Next Fest, so I tried it out. It's pretty neat. It all looks like an oil painting, which is cool. You play as this little white dude, and you can color yourself as other colors to unlock gates, and the whole thing is just a puzzle platform around doing that and using these colored balls. Like there should be a red ball there, yeah, and you can move that up to a gate and it'll open it. Or if you turn yourself red, that will also open the red gate. But it had lots of neat ideas for how you could mix the colors. Like there'll be jets, like ink streams going out, and you can combine those to make like yellow and blue to make a purple one. Oh no, sorry, a green one. God, I can't. Yeah, a green one or a purple one with the red and the blue. And it seemed like it had lots of neat ideas for that. And sometimes if you scroll down, you see you'll start walking through just literally a giant oil painting, which is pretty cool looking. But yeah, seemed neat. Worth trying. Did remind me of like a 7th gen puzzle platform I would play for sure. Yeah,
looking over, I was like, that straight up looks like a game that disappeared from 7th gen downloadable space to become a new game on Steam. The cool thing though is it runs right.
Yes.
Which none of those did.
No. Yeah, it runs fine. It seemed like the mechanics worked just well enough to work for these puzzles he made. Which is always what you want. You don't want it to be under that. You don't want me to be like, oh no, this requires high precision accuracy. It doesn't. It's all about knowing what to do. So I think it turned out pretty well. That was neat.
The name of that game again?
The Master's Pupil.
There we go. Bob, there's one thing chat's been saying for a while.
Yeah.
When's pro Goodbye Volcano High, Civvy?
I'm sorry, I didn't have time. We streamed Pikmin yesterday.
Yeah, if only we didn't stream Hey Pikmin. We would have definitely streamed Goodbye Volcano High's demo, which has all of the dialogue for the entire game in the file.
Oh, did somebody find that?
Yeah, somebody scraped it. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Man, they're really not very good at this, are they?
PC demos are hard.
I'm excited to, I guess, try to type this Volcano High sometime between now and next week, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to promise it. Final Fantasy came out today.
Yeah, that's true. Final Fantasy came out today.
Priorities, Bob.
Oh my God.
You're right. What was I thinking?
Well, I guess that's it for Steam Next Fest and for what everyone's been playing, which means Podlords.
Ah!
Oh, fuck!
Podlords. Oh, fuck. Podlords. Yes, that's right. It's the pod. Well, it's not Steam Next Fest, so we can drop that part of this. Maybe center this a little bit better. I don't know. Podlords.
Festo Lordes.
Podfest. Nexo Festo. Then he punches a giant Valve logo into the wall. But yes, that's right. The Podlords. Podlords such as E. Lee. Check this out. Broyles.
Oh,
Damn.
BN12. Mega Man as a series does not exist. Each game is a standalone. There are no Mega Man fans because each game has its very little own. Red Blaze 27. Suzushiro. Rado. 101 Shades of Congrats, Bob. You're free from the backer DLC.
thank you.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's... WTF, Spider-Man. I shot people on Twitter with this, so here, have Commander Shepard's face model.
Oh,
Yup.
I knew, but I never had to confront it before.
right?
I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah. It's weird, though.
It is weird. And be honest, at first glance, I'm like, is that a swastika tattoo on his neck?
I
It's
mean,
just 'cause
eventually, but
grayscale.
he couldn't afford getting it spelled out yet.
I don't like it. Its smug aura mocks me. DFW 3K. Very excited for One Piece, the Netflix.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
wouldn't you be?
Yeah, that's about right.
Evil Lucario, wake up. Our Pokemon Go to the movies just dropped to non-patrons. Kristen. Kyle Bjork. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
P3 is a Sonic CD game. You know, I read this, and I think we even got this last week, and I didn't understand it until I realized, oh, they're saying it. Persona 3 Sonic CD syndrome.
Oh, okay. I was caught up
Yeah.
on Piano 3 for some reason.
You're like, they're just shortening the name.
But P3 has always been widely available. I've known multiple people who owned a copy, including myself. I can't say that that's on CD.
Yeah, but none of them will play it. Just like Sonic CD.
Yeah, as Persona got more popular, every previous game was the hipster one that no one played.
Which is why I'm the best hipster. I played the PS1 games. I like this series more when it... No, anyways, let's move on. Monster Hunter, Ryzen and Raiden. I recommend Rage Drive G Fuel. It's cantaloupe. That is a Tekken flavor.
Huh. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense.
You gotta use your melon?
No, just like every move in Tekken feels like the kind of thing you would do to a cantaloupe to make Foley sound.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Cooper Tank. Buggy D Clown.
God, more.
That's it. That's the shot. That's the one that makes me so afraid because that is the exact same shot as Ed from the end of Netflix Bebop.
Yes, it is.
God, it is. Oh no!
Look on the bright side. This has 4 fewer episodes, yet is trying to adapt twice as much content.
Oh,
That means they'll do it really well and fast.
God. I didn't watch the trailer. I think I watched 8 seconds of the trailer and just went, "Why am I even watching a trailer? I'm gonna watch it." Moon Muse Entertainment Studio. Indigo Sykes. Drive Typecast recommends This Is How You Lose the Time War. Seriously. Forget spinach. Kids, eat your fries and chicken bucket.
Yeah.
She's so strong.
She's so strong.
I've been betrayed and left in the hyperbolic time chamber by Shiny View.
Son of a bitch.
This is what you get for being evil, Lucario. I'm too busy thinking about Final Fantasy 16 this week, so here's a raccoon with white fur. I love the eye roll it's doing.
It's very snide.
Apple Gothic went on a mental health break to Germany to study birds. Currently holding the world's most bored-looking owl. Damn, I didn't know they
he's
had the
not
world's most bored-looking owl in Germany. That's crazy. How Shinji 16, a dedicated music game enthusiast for over 2 decades, felt hearing Dan suddenly discuss DDR last week. Not too many ways you can introduce yourself and immediately get arrested, but saying you're a Bomani ambassador might be one of them. They're just like, you're what? You play what? No, we don't need you and your fancy $300 controllers around these parts. The Super Mim. My life is now nothing but a countdown to Super Mario RPG. It is all I yearn for now. Sarlene. Timothy Pfister is still recovering from Super Mario RPG. Star Ocean 2 remakes announced within 20 minutes of each other.
Yup.
Shinji, I knew you were going to type that in chat. That's the worst part. I knew you were going to type it's $2,000, not $300.
Oh no!
Bearded Joe. Pleochrome. Krungle Spum. I've only had Ochi for 1 day and 6 hours, but if anything happens to him, I will never recover. Remember, no echolocation. Melancholic Cloud. Surely, Atlas would have to remake my game after Persona 3. Tatsuya Suo. Persona 2 Innocent Sin.
Yeah. It's totally gonna happen.
No. It's okay. There's gonna be a big team up game, and all the guys from Persona 2 and all those versions will show up too, and everyone will love them.
No, I'm sorry. We're never fucking seeing Persona 1 or 2 ever again.
Shut up,
We get like an HD collection of the two of them at some point.
Mario is very small, but very powerful. I told the story on the Pikmin stream, but I'm telling it again. Tosh sees Mario bust out of the shack and goes, "Why does he live in a shack?" I'm like, I never once questioned that. I played this game in like 1995.
That's just how he lives.
Yeah, I don't know. That just seemed normal for back then.
Right? Donkey Kong lived in a shack.
Why can't Mario? He needs a micro home. He can't afford a big house. And slightly above average. Thank you very much to our pod lords.
Like pod lords.
Thank you, pod lords!
Your pod lords.
Thank you, Pod Lords. If you'd like to become a Pod Lord, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get many benefits such as early access to Chugging Bleach and Pokemon Go to the Movies, our 2 monthly anime review podcasts. You also get extended and cut content from other shows we do, when indeed such things exist for you to be given. You also get a patron exclusive show, one a month, where we watch a good or bad thing and then have to talk about it for you. And if it's a bad thing, you get a commentary track. And sometimes we just watch bad things and give you commentary tracks anyway.
That's true.
So there's a lot of those, like one for The Wizard, our most recent one. You also get an entire movie. You get Isolation 119, a fantastic film full of stock footage about a man drinking beers in a chair. Allegedly, he's investigating something, but he doesn't really fucking do that. He just gets into fights with the locals and drinks.
People are asking
that's
when's the Isolation 119 game, and I'm like, I've never played like a mystery game where you always have the option to just keep drinking beers and not solve shit.
Oh wow.
I'm sure there is some fucking adventure game on the Famicom where you can get a game over by just drinking a bunch of times in a row.
Hell yeah.
But that's patreon.com/GB podcasts. And if you don't have any money, it always helps us immensely to rate us on Thursdays. Tell your friends, rate us on your podcast app of choice, or just like this video on YouTube right now.
Please do. Here we go, news. Is that right?
Yeah. Stuff happened.
Doesn't sound like us.
Let's see. We had, I believe it was a press release from Microsoft. Let me just play that directly into the audio here.
Xbox will never win.
Bob, do you have the full story behind why Xbox will never win, or?
No, I didn't write it down.
Okay. There's an FTC thing, and apparently they just went, we lost. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
they
what
literally
the-
they literally said our dick is small. We can never win no matter what. It's literally impossible for us to compete with Sony and Nintendo. At least they fucking named Nintendo for once. Normally they pretend they don't exist.
Yeah,
Right.
they don't exist. There's no such
So
thing as a
so let us
Nintendo.
buy Activision so we can compete. Like that's their whole thing. It's just pleading.
Yeah. Let's cover real news. Oh, that's a lot of Nintendo Direct. Let's cover other real news. Hey, Aggro.
Hey, Dan.
I see two words, actually four, when I look at your news with a cursory glance, and those words are Roblox, romantic, and also sexual. Would you like to read your news?
Roblox recently announced that they're going to be adding support for 17 plus content. So, you can make shit in Roblox, and now you can make 17 plus content in Roblox.
Why would you do this?
Right?
They actually did say why they were doing this. They said, "Hey, lots of people who grew up with Roblox are now adults."
Yeah, they literally went, our demographic is aging up, so we're gonna age up with them. The immediate Twitter reaction was, oh fuck, the sex update is real.
Oh, God.
But then I went into their new terms and conditions, and no, they still really, really don't want any pornography on Roblox.
Yeah, we're Americans, so 17 plus just means violence.
Yeah.
They literally just did reword their violence standards. That was it.
You can show someone get decapitated, but you can't show them kiss. That's how American culture works. We're such a normal country. We're such a normal.
We're so
culture.
normal. Everything about us is normal, and everything about everyone else is weird. Oof.
So yeah, Roblox continues to be lame. It's very sad.
Is that the conclusion from your story?
Yeah, no, pretty much. They for just one shining moment, Roblox was cool, and then they updated their terms and conditions. Like, oh wait, I guess not.
Yeah, they really needed this to bring to pull back after losing that sound.
Look, unless Roblox adds gratuitous sexual content, Fortnite's just gonna keep eating their lunch.
But then Fortnite will just one up by adding gratuitous sexual content.
Yes, Dan. Everything according to plan. You know how many different intellectual properties are in Fortnite? How many different characters I could make do stuff in Fortnite?
They could hit the gritty. Hit the gritty.
Yeah, great.
So you remember that FTC filing we were talking about, where Microsoft sort of like rolled over and pulled out their tiny penis and would look at it. It's so small. Please let us buy Activision.
Yes.
Well, in that, they sort of offhandedly said that Sony is also anticipated to release a handheld version of the PlayStation 5 later this year for under $300. So this is either something they learned in Discovery, something they're guessing, or something else they're lying to the government about.
that just makes me think a $299.99. I'm like, it's dead.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, it's got to be the Project Q thing just at $299, and they're like,
Mhm.
that's a portable account. Sure. We're gonna go with Bob.
Sure.
Hey, Bob, how's it going?
All right. Flintlock Siege of Dawn. We'll get it out of this year. It's next year now.
Oh, that's safe.
Right.
I
Reminder
would
that that was
boo,
one
but
that
it's this year. So
Yeah,
Right.
reminder. That's one of the games that was at Microsoft's thing last year, as definitely coming out in the first half half of this year.
Yep. For people who might not remember, it's that weird like thing that looked like it wanted to be God of War, but you play as this lady who used a flintlock rifle.
Yeah, and it seemed
And
like
like a hatchet.
Yeah.
it seemed like the environments were both coastal and sandy, if I'm remembering correctly. Left the desert as well.
Yeah, I remember the desert. There might have been a coast. I don't
I
remember.
thought there was water. Anyway,
yeah, it looked like pretty Afghani themed.
okay.
Yeah, it looked pretty neat.
I'm glad it's hiding. It's hiding itself to repair itself.
Yes. Rumors are going around that there's a SMT5 complete edition going to be announced like on July 7th, or sorry, 6th.
Oh, is it 6? Okay.
It's like a reputable leaker who's done stuff like this for various consoles before, namely PlayStation consoles.
So the hope is Shin Megami Tensei 5 for PlayStation 5,
Right?
because that is an amazing game.
And seeing that actually get to be on hardware that can run it.
Run it at like 60 or at very least at 4K.
Mhm.
You love to see it.
Oh, yeah, that game's great.
Also, it's been 2 years. There might be new content.
That's true. That's true.
This
That
could be
is
like the
true.
Nocturne
And
release.
Yeah, they did do that for Nocturne.
Man. That was a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to play through SMT5 again, and if it was running on the PS5, that'd be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool.
But it could just be the same game with all the DLC released on the Switch. That could happen.
That's true, yeah.
Fate/Samurai Remnant got a release date. It's going to be out this September 29th. This is the Omega Force made Fate game.
Is it another Warriors thing, or is it different?
It looks different from a typical Warriors thing. It definitely seems like more small scale, like of only fighting a few guys at once, not fighting armies. It seemed neat. It has Jeanne d'Arc alter for some reason, even though seeming like all the other servants seem to be new. But I guess she's popular enough they can just do
Yeah,
that.
she's insanely fucking popular.
Yeah.
Also, I think Miyamoto Musashi is in there, and Miyamoto Musashi's been in Fake Grand Order a million times.
I feel like it's a new design for Miyamoto Musashi though.
Yes, she is a different class.
Yeah, and like she looks pretty different in general. And I guess in this world she's different from the world Miyamoto Musashi that she is in. She's like another version of him. So who knows how that worked. So this is apparently set with Miyamoto Musashi shortly after he died.
The fucking Nasu verse is
Yeah.
so unbelievably complicated. It makes Blaze Blue look sober.
Yeah, Blaze Blue didn't have 20 years or something.
Yeah, and 18 different franchises, and
Yeah. A shame.
Yeah. But this game looks pretty cool. I don't know if I'll be able to play it because it's in September.
it's this year.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't know if it's getting a dub. I kind of doubt it. There's no dub
Yeah,
on the trailer.
that seems extremely unlikely.
Real quick, is anything happening in September? I forgot.
I
Is
know
this
there's
a joke?
No, is Spider-Man that month, or is that October?
No, that's October.
Right, so I'm struggling other than Starfield.
Starfield,
There was something right next to Starfield. I don't remember what.
Baten Kaitos, which is going to get devoured. The Crew, which is going to get devoured. There was more stuff, I think.
Yeah, maybe September is a little safe for us.
Yeah, I feel like we're only halfway in, and that's because I'm playing Starfield.
Let me see.
I feel kind of safe.
Super Bomberman R2. Mortal Kombat 1, Lies of P, Payday 3, that Cyberpunk expansion.
Man, we still
And
don't
those
have a
seem to
date
be
on
all the
Tekken.
big things.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Maybe
yeah.
Tekken's not happening this year.
I don't
We
think
still
Tekken's
don't have-
it's either they're gonna show it at Evo or no Tekken this year.
Or
Yeah.
a Sony thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say Evo's getting close. That would
Mhm.
make sense. They got that beta coming up soon too,
Mhm.
so it might be
Yeah,
like
who
November
knows?
or something.
Yeah, this is getting crazy though.
Yeah, I won't be
speaking of-
upset if we don't get Tekken this year. I feel
Yeah,
like
no, I'll be
Yeah,
fine.
that'd
Jesus
be fine.
Christ. We're getting the
Speaking of-
fixed version of Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. We really don't need, on top of that, in Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, and Mortal Kombat 1.
Speaking
August
of racing
does
games
have
that
Armored
got sent
Core.
out to die.
Hmm?
Speaking of racing games that got sent out to die, that new Need for Speed is on Game Pass now.
I saw that, and I was like, oh man, I should try that. Oh wait, no, I should cancel Game Pass because I keep paying them and not playing anything.
Yeah,
But I should also try that and then cancel Game Pass.
there you go.
Then get a bag of chips and then play Starfield.
Another thing that came out during the FTC hearing, Machine Games' Indiana Jones game confirmed it's an Xbox exclusive now and was previously going to release on everything, including PS5.
The fact this has to come out and we
Yeah,
have to
like-
confirm it is so insane because it's like, yeah,
You couldn't just.
I don't know why
No.
Twitter people are so insane that they're entertaining that any of these games would have not been on everything. Like, I know
I'm
it's for the courtrooms to just have a thing to point at specifically, but Jesus, of course.
I'm extremely surprised that the licensors were like, "Sure, it can be exclusive."
Yeah, you have to wonder if
Microsoft must have paid out the ass. Like there's no way that was like, "Okay, sure, you can go from launching on everything to only launching on one platform." Sure.
yeah, you can go from launching on 60% of the platforms on the market to 16 because they actually did hand out numbers.
Yeah.
That was the main thing for the FTC thing. They handed out the numbers of their market share in the middle of saying, we lost the console war. And I'm like, motherfucker, you spent 5 years saying it was a competition. You don't
Yeah.
get to open anything by saying that.
I know it's always frustrating. Their weird flip floppy sort of
Well, they say the exact opposite of what they know is real.
right. It's so upsetting.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Anyway,
As part of this, Matt Booty also said we're not confirming if some other thing they're working on that's obviously going to be exclusive from Bethesda as well. I can't remember. It's another game that's come on the way. Outer Worlds 2. They're like, we don't know yet. We haven't made that decision.
that's
It's like,
not Outer Worlds is not, that's Obsidian.
yeah, another thing owned by or like part of.
That's
I guess they're not in Bethesda.
Right,
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, another thing that
that Microsoft
owns.
scooped up all at once.
Yes, when they get the giant scoop, like if they got the 2 scoops of raisins, I don't know where they're all from anymore.
Right. Also, there was the important thing is to note that they were not Bethesda, and now they're a part of Bethesda, kind of,
Yeah.
by being a part of the same parent company. The other thing that came out is there was an email that's like, hey, we could squeeze Sony out of the market by acquiring a bunch of studios, and that was in 2019. And a bunch of people were like, well, yeah, that's not at the same time as the Activision thing. It's like, no, it's right before the Bethesda thing.
They
Use your
said
fucking
they
brain.
would do
No.
a thing and then started doing the thing, and you're pretending they aren't related. You're unbelievably stupid.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is beyond devil's advocate. We're just arguing that nothing has correlation anymore.
No, their
Well,
plans changed now.
Humans aren't capable of definite knowledge about the state of the universe, so you can't make this claim about Microsoft.
Okay. Hey, Bob, what's your next bit of news?
The according to the Los Angeles City Tourist Board of Commissioners, E3 is canceled for 2024 and 2025.
E3 will never win.
The ESA says that the fate of E3 2024 is to be determined, which sounds
No.
pretty negative.
No, it's dead. Like it's dead. It's over.
Yeah,
Like except for Sony showing up early and Nintendo showing up late, not much changed this year.
I feel like
normal.
we will get an E3 next year. It will be some cryptid shit that is so dissimilar to anything we would expect. So they don't need the LA Convention Center in order
Welcome to
to
Sprite presents E3 online.
The OTK Games Expo presents E3.
Right.
Yeah, that's what they started to turn E3 into before they just collapsed. So
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah, which we didn't talk about, I don't think.
Yeah,
We didn't talk about on Big Think the fact that E3, the way they were describing their plans for this year, the people who were running it anyways, was, in your opinion, lining up with the OTK thing. We were just like, well, we're going to get influencers to present it.
I think that was actually the plan when the pandemic started, but then they had to cancel that E3.
Right.
Because this one was just, it's going to be like PAX. It's going to be PAX. It's going to be PAX. And
Which
that's
isn't
basically what
even
they said
new
over
for
and
them.
over.
That's not even the new game plan. They shared that a long time ago, and it went terribly because they let in the public, and it's like, okay, now journalists can't try these games.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're heading to Chris for news that I didn't expect, and the gravity of it really just resounds in my skull. He hit me with this at random in the Discord.
So Dan has gone on record multiple times as saying he might try more. He's going to stick his hand in the blender that is Immortals of Avium.
Yeah.
Pay $70. He won't be doing that now, presumably. I'm that's conjecture on my part. He can clue in here in a second because it's been delayed a month until on top of Armored Core.
That shit ain't happening, bro.
They're fucked.
Putting down my $70 was the sacrifice. There's no way I'm putting down Armored Core to play your ass.
I saw like later they're like, yeah, we had to delay the months because we want the PC version to be better. It's like, maybe you should just delay the PC one.
For some reason,
No,
they'll never do that.
Bullshit. We're 6 weeks out and they delayed a month. They failed compliance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That game's gonna be a garbage fire, just like everything fucking EA releases now.
Excited to try my copy of Jedi Survivor and see if that's any better.
Let me pull up this one so I can read exactly what was said. Let me say other things while I do that. So Nintendo, when they saw Mario plus Rabbids 2, they were like, guys, you should just wait until our next console to ship that. Nobody's gonna care.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's gonna care if you ship this year. Your thing entirely hinged on people wanting things to play on their new Switch. And now we've shipped like 30 games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's over. And they were like, yeah, I guess they were right.
I mean, the amazing thing is Nintendo, and we've observed this from their own franchises, and it's pretty wise. They do literally see numbered installments as fungible. So the last thing they want to do is wholly supplant a pre-existing entry in a genre of franchise or whatever on their own system. So of course they would say the same thing to Ubisoft making a game with their IPs of like, dude, wait till the next system. That way it at least looks different, and that hits the button in the brain that makes someone go, oh, I should get that.
Right.
Yeah, it's legitimately kind of weird that we even got 2 Zeldas.
Yeah, where the first one was supposed to be on the Wii U. I'm pretty sure that's why that happened.
Yeah, it got pushed back, and
they clearly just had a lot more ideas. Was that exact mold for a Zelda?
Mm-hmm.
So, according to Jeremy Wang, better known to the internet as the streamer and esports owner Disguised Toast, nobody's making any fucking money in esports right now. Everybody's just shoveling money into the furnace. There is no actual money to be made.
What?
Coming up next, no shit.
This was after he said this, which is about a week ago. It was like right after Big Think last year. Last week.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of other people plus one, like, yeah, there's no profits here. Turns out people didn't actually give a shit about this. It's just one of those scams like crypto.
It's one of those scams like streaming platforms for video where they're like, it's really not profitable now, but there's going to be a point where...
Yeah, eventually this will be the biggest thing in the world. It just will.
As long as we get to borrow money at no interest forever...
Uh-huh.
And nothing changes so that money is no longer free forever, such as the Federal Reserve raising interest rates. As long as that never happens ever throughout human history ever again, we'll be fine.
We'll be fine forever.
And then the Federal Reserve raised interest rates by like 6 points.
And then we were not fine forever.
Yeah, and then all these companies collapsed mortally wounded.
Man. I just think about how many games over the last decade have been like, we made it for esports. And how they just crashed immediately because that obviously wasn't a real market.
EA is restructuring into two branches. EA Entertainment, which is everything they make that isn't sports, and EA Sports, which is
which is esports.
Oh no.
I can't imagine EA was structured particularly well beforehand. So this will probably be even marginally better. But at the same time, the cynic in me is like, yeah, they're just putting all the non-sports stuff in one section so they can just shut that down in a year.
Oh, that's brutal.
Hey, EA has not exactly had like a big single player or just non-sports winner in a while. Like the last thing was Apex. And Star Wars, I guess. They'll fire everybody but the people working. They'll fire everybody but fucking Respawn.
Yeah, it seems like Respawn's the only thing keeping the whole EA alive right now, and they seem to be routing everything to them. Like the entire Battlefield franchise is handled by them now, but they haven't been able to do anything with it yet. And I'm really worried that's just going to go horribly wrong.
I think they said the head of Respawn is like now one of the heads of this whole branch.
That makes sense because they're the only people who've been succeeding over there.
Right.
Yeah, maybe they'll fucking fix BioWare.
God, that would be nice.
Right.
Game Pass Ultimate is getting a $2 a month price increase. It doesn't matter how often you pay, even if you pay it yearly, so it's at the cheapest price, it's still a $2 a month price increase. The Series X is being raised in price in all non-US regions to the same price as the PS5 because Sony made it okay. Even though Sony did it like a year ago in the height of inflation, and now inflation is slowing down and going down, Microsoft is like, oh shit, our excuse is about to go away, raise the price.
Right as Sony could lower the price in the next 3 months.
Yes, as right as Sony allegedly is getting ready to launch a revision that could be even $50 cheaper.
I don't like. Yeah, I could have sworn when Sony raised the price, Microsoft was like, "No, we definitely won't do that."
Yeah, they did a whole.
No, they
fucking...
said they did not. They actually said the opposite. They said we might do that.
Okay.
No, they did 2 interviews. The first one, they said that we will not do that, and then 2 weeks later or more, Phil Spencer's like, "Yeah, we might. I don't know. I swear to God."
It's great to raise the price on something there's already no demand for.
Xbox is dead in Miami.
And here's the weirdest fucking story, in my opinion. So they announced the new dub voice of Kazuma Kiryu, the protagonist of Yakuza / Like a Dragon. It's fucking Yang Yi, the YouTuber, who was an actor before he was a YouTuber. So.
Oh, I did not know that.
But what makes this strange is they got the guy from the PS2 dub back for Like a Dragon / Yakuza 7. Because they just got him back from that old ass game to do Kiryu again, and now he's just replaced.
That is weird. I have to wonder if that dude was just like, no, I'm retired. I came back for this, but I don't want to keep going forward. But it's weird to even do it at once.
But at least it confirms this game will have a dub.
Yeah.
Because that was up in the air, especially with apparently they're not doing a physical of this game, because apparently Sega now has some bizarre policy. If it's not a full price game, it doesn't get a physical.
Man, that's weird.
But that is all my news.
I don't know if I was going to save this for the promoting at the end of the episode segment or if I should put it in news. We have a Blue Sky account.
Oh, neat.
Major news. I'll get Chris and anyone else on Big Think who gives a shit an invite when they give me a code. Anyway, I hear we have a Nintendo Direct, and I guess something was announced there.
No way. It was this Nintendo Direct probably sucked. I bet nothing was there.
I swear I don't try to bring Jeff Gerstmann into the fucking Big Thing dimension and put him on blast every time, but it was fucking insane to listen to that man go, I guess Nintendo might announce something. I don't know. They don't usually do that. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? They keep getting my Game of the Year list every fucking year. They always announce it in June!
No, they'll probably just talk about everybody 1-2 Switch, right? Right, Chris?
No, that in fact is not present at all because it's sent to die. The only evidence we're ever going to have it existed was when you and Dan play it.
No! Me setting up the stream for everybody want to switch. No, what are you doing? Ah! Yeah, this Nintendo Direct was really good. Or is it going if I just bust through it, Chris?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. We got a trailer for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC, both of the parts, the hidden treasure of Area Zero, and also whatever they called the Blueberry Island one.
The whole thing is called the Secret of Area Zero.
These
I
are
believe.
two different areas. That doesn't make
there's-
sense.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Area Zero is big.
Next up, Dan's upset. Pocket monsters don't really reside in your pocket.
Oh man, I don't have time to play this year. What are they doing?
Well, yeah, I'm not going to play it at all, considering it leaked that there was going to be a fucking update patch for the next Switch.
I mean, I could legit just see waiting for a Switch 2 to see if it runs the game better, period. So
Right.
maybe that's not such a bad idea. I can't believe I get to deliver this news. I can't believe this. All you Geno haters. How is it down in the sewer? I don't give a fuck if you float down there. You can eat it. Super Mario RPG is getting a remake.
How? What?
It's so good.
I'm really happy that Nintendo clearly understands they should have a Mario RPG franchise.
So good.
It's like the remake. You look at the old one and want. It's literally the old game, but it looks better, plays the same. It's crazy.
Yeah, that
We
thing
don't get
looks
this anymore,
beautiful. I was
right?
floored. We literally spent last big thing talking about what if you fix the camera angle and you could have an unbelievably gorgeous game. Not only did Nintendo announce that, it's a remake of Super Mario RPG.
And they,
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. I'm like, man, that looks so unbelievably good for the Switch. Imagine if Nintendo could ship their shit in 4K or even 1440p.
yeah, no. If this game,
Everybody
just
else would
higher
look like a
res.
joke.
Yeah, that's literally next gen. Everyone else is fucking on like medical watch.
they even made sure to throw in this trailer the weird things that you think they might change. Like, yeah, Mario can't talk, so he spins around and turns to Bowser. It's like, yes, it's that game.
I actually, we didn't live stream our reaction, but I did take a picture when this announcement was made, and this is how I felt at the moment.
Man, you really weren't meant to see TNG in high fidelity.
Oh,
that's just a dude in a body sock.
It's
Yeah.
so good though. It's so good. What an amazing announcement. I couldn't possibly win any harder during this direct, could I?
Had HD Boshi.
Culture is healing.
I cannot wait for high fidelity Guy Fieri Toad.
Yes. Have you seen Guy Fieri Toad? I wonder if Googling that will bring him up. One moment. Guy Fieri.
It's been so long, I don't remember.
Let me.
I played
no,
this on
that
the
didn't-
Super Nintendo.
that did not.
I think his name is Hinopio.
Oh yeah, that's right. That is his name. I actually. Anyway, okay. I'm gonna throw this in the stream too for anyone who doesn't. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna throw this in the stream too for anyone who hasn't seen it. Give me just.
Oh
one
man, I
second.
am not looking forward to high fidelity Belome.
No, that's gonna be great. It's gonna be like, oh yeah, that's a terrifying.
God.
Yeah, look at this dude.
That is a cool fucking guy.
Yeah.
He has a shop inside a volcano and models of F-Zero cars.
Oh my god. This game rules. This is how good this game is. I was like, hey guys, how many times should we stream Super Mario RPG? Should we stream the SNES one, the Switch one, or both? And overwhelmingly, people were like, both. I'm like, damn.
I'm really excited that I finally get to play this fucking game.
Oh, you haven't played it?
No.
I envy you for having me to
That's
envy.
true.
Guess which console I didn't have as a kid?
Oh no!
right.
I got the Super
Right.
Nintendo late, but I still got this.
Oh man, I can't
Oh.
believe Agra was a lesser person for owning the Genesis only.
Everyone else is talking Mario RPG, and Agro's over here like, Vector Man's real! As he gets
I've
thrown
got a
into the Phantom
Battletoads
Zone.
you can actually play.
Just because I can actually play it doesn't mean I should.
Not only is this incredible, this now opens the possibility that they could just be like, well, we need a Mario RPG. I guess we'll just make a sequel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We already have all the models and mechanics and shit in this game.
Just to be clear, if they do that, everywhere I walk for the rest of my life is the Dr. Livesey meme. I'm just.
God, I would look. I'm the kind of person who's like, I didn't play Mario or Mario and Luigi or Paper Mario because like that's not Mario RPG.
Yeah,
Where's Mario RPG? So if they make a Mario RPG 2, I will have won.
Bob and I will just wear the glowing latex suit from TNG for the entire stream.
I'm also hoping that this leads to a remake of Paper Mario 1.
It could
Because
happen.
that would be that just really just needs high fidelity assets and everything else can be exactly the same.
I've never screamed harder at a Nintendo Direct than this moment.
Yeah,
I was like,
car
what
went
the
off.
fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
What do you mean there's a remake of this? What?
It, just showing that pan up of Peach sitting that exact way, I was like, this looks like just like Mario RPG. What are you doing? There's no way.
Sitting there in the morning watching that direct going, man, I've got a couple hours till my timeline wakes up and sees this shit.
Yeah, I had no idea because here's what I did. I got up. I was up too late to go to watch this. I went to work. I got a break. I went to twitch.com/Nintendo because I know that if I went to YouTube, they'd have all the trailers up and spoil me. So I went to twitch.tv/Nintendo and clicked on the VOD.
That's smart.
Yeah, I wasn't able to sleep that night, so I watched it live. It was great.
I heard the music and I'm watching it and I'm losing my mind and I'm screaming and I'm literally crying. I'm so glad this wasn't recorded. And as it's happening, I'm listening to the music and I'm like, oh my God, they clearly got Yoko Shimomura back to do this. Because if you listen to her Smash rearrangements of her own music, you know what that sort of sounds like. So this sounds similar enough to that I'm like, oh my God, they got Shimomura back to do it again. They confirmed that. I'm like, yeah, I know. Christ is real. There's a God, everyone. Incredible moment. Damn, dude. Good job topping the dread moment.
Yeah.
He was like, we need an even longer Hail Mary. Holy shit. Okay, we gotta move on.
Yeah.
Because I'll just start melting. That's November 17th. My brain thought it was next year because they included it in the segment about Luigi's Mansion 2 being ported to the Switch and Peach.
Yeah. I really want to know what Peach is.
What are you excited for in the year 2024? Peach.
People point out she's not wearing the crown. It might be set before she becomes the princess.
This is her origin story.
Yes. I doubt that. I assume that's just because she's going. It's some sort of stage play thing.
So anyway, we may be doing a Mario RPG month. We'll see. Maybe Bob and I will finally play Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi. Who knows?
Please.
Maybe. That's me. I like this note in here, Chris. Mario's fluoride stare remains.
Yeah, and the render they use for like the cover.
Yeah.
Also the UI looks kind of bad, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't process it at that level. All I went is, holy shit. Wait, what's that thing? Because they have the percent bar circle on the left. And I'm like,
that seems to be some big cinematic super move because in the trailer there's like Bowser in the clown car with Mario and Malo, and then there's like Geno surfing around on the rainbow and catching Malo as he falls over, and people are like, maybe that's just some big cinematic super attack that you get fill a meter on and then you get to do it.
maybe.
Yeah, throwing a limit break in would make sense.
That would be sick. That would also be kind of classic Square vibes, right?
Right.
Something I really like is they just have a thing that says, yeah, you can't block this attack. Because I would always try to block the ones where shit freezes.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, well, I don't know where to hit the button.
I'm going to try every frame of this spell. Pikmin 4, they showed a little bit more. As mentioned before, you could explore at night, but they showed off glow Pikmin, which can combine to make an energy ball that explodes on the enemy, and then they're all just attached and eating them. That was sick. I also love that the glow Pikmin have the fluoride stare, too. It's real fucking sick. Digital ports of Pikmin 1 and 2 are out on Switch right now. You can buy them together or separately.
For more money.
There's a physical version later this year. I might buy Pikmin 1. I don't think I'll buy Pikmin 2 on Switch. But you know.
There is a Pikmin demo coming too before the game comes out, so you can try it.
Ooh. So if you don't know if Pikmin 4 is right for you, contact your doctor and try the demo today. Yeah, Pikmin 2 removed all that product licensing.
Yeah, why even play it?
I mean, that is a really funny part of that game.
It
Just being
is.
like, this is giant fucking Duracell battery. This is a can of, was it shoe polish or tobacco? I can't remember. The cans are so similar. I think it was
Yeah.
shoe polish.
Yeah,
Yeah, there were a lot of brands in that. It was very funny during our stream.
I don't think we found Dapper Dan though. Strangely,
No, I complained that they didn't have Dapper Dan. I'm like, that would have been perfect. Those were localized, by the way. Every region had different brands in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kiwi shoe polish. Yep, exactly. But yeah, okay. You know, I thought I'd blow past this, but we need to explain it. I'm like, how do I say this and form a cogent sentence other than obscenities?
I could read exactly what I wrote. If it's
we
about
wrote-
Luigi's Mansion.
We announced a Luigi's Mansion month. We hit the goal. One person in particular, Metal Paper Mario, if I'm not mistaken, paid for the majority of the goal themselves, which is no small task. And then for this Nintendo Direct, as though aimed like a sniper rifle bullet at my head specifically, they went, if you hadn't done that, you could have played the Switch version, which we are announcing right now for next year. Of 2.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon.
You don't understand. When you stream a 3DS game, every moment's tense. Because at any moment, the capture system or the driver or Windows just fucks up and you're rebooting something and the stream's on hold. And it's not comfortable to begin with anyway. So I'm sitting there during the Hey Pikmin stream yesterday. I'm like, I didn't think people would let us get away with pushing Luigi's Mansion 2 to next. The chat voted for it. They want us to push Luigi's Mansion 2 until this port comes out. And I'm like, oh, thank God, we have the best fans. Thank fucking Christ. Because Luigi's Mansion 2 needs help, right? It needs the help of not being on the 3DS. It needs to run well, look great.
It needs all the buffs it can get.
It really does.
Because it sounds dire.
I'm not a big fan of 2. I will literally buy it, though, in order to not stream a 3DS game.
Yeah.
It won't even be hard. So, be excited for Luigi's Mansion month, which is 1 and 3. Then 2's next year.
It's kind of crazy there aren't more spin-offs.
Well, you don't need to when Luigi's Mansion 3 sells 14 million copies.
Yeah.
It's going to be really fucking weird if Next Level's making another Luigi's Mansion right now. Like,
It's resold too well. They can't escape it.
At the same time, if one company's going to understand you making a really good thing that sells well and then moving on, I feel like it's Nintendo.
That's true.
Yeah,
You know,
but they'll have to make at least one more for the next Switch.
They let the Mario Kart team move on to ARMS, for the love of God.
That's true.
I was like, how long will this take to sink in? Of like, people who made best-selling game of all fucking time can make ARMS.
Yeah, the best-selling Switch game period. It's like 53.8 million copies.
Yeah, it's fucking insane, which makes Gersman's hatred for it even more insane. Not you're insane for disliking something popular. No, he's being driven more insane by how well it sells.
Yeah, because it's the my opinion is for lack of a better term wrong. Like, people can't handle being hard checked that fast. Other people move on. I was like, yeah, I thought Hogwarts Legacy would bomb, and it sold 140 million copies. Whatever. People are terrible. Moving on. What's for lunch?
Yeah. What you gonna do? Bob, you already said you're excited for Peach.
Really unclear what Peach is, but yeah, super excited.
Yeah, it seems to have musical vibes. It is some sort of theatrical thing and on a stage. I'm interested. I'm very interested. Somebody was like, isn't it weird that it's like that and she gets a fancy dress? And I'm like, no, the last game was about how emotions are her power. No, she likes musicals. That makes her human, unlike the fucking last game where it's like her emotions are so strong. Women.
To be fair, she got a magic power up that made her emotions stronger. It wasn't that she's just naturally crazy.
I hope that when Peach comes out, it's just Utena.
That'd be funny.
Just the ending of Utena.
It seems
so Daisy becomes a car.
Yeah, it's just the Utena movie.
Yeah. You were afraid of Elfin Daisy, but are you ready for Car Daisy?
Saved you click video games is.
He's ready for anything.
He's ready for all things. Splatoon 3 Splatfest mid-July. Mint chip versus strawberry versus vanilla ice cream. Bob, do you have any opinions on
Mint
that?
chip should win, but it won't. Weirdly, they didn't seem to announce who is sponsoring each.
I think each person talked in order with what they were supposed to be, or it's colored to them. So Mint Chip would be Big Man or whatever. And
Yeah, I assume Mint Chip is Big Man.
Silent Hope, a dungeon crawling RPG about heroes who can't speak and can only hear, I believe it was the princess, who sealed in her tears. Speak to all of them.
So
it's got the story of Seasons Cow.
Are they the quiet party?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
More so than the Quiet Man was the Quiet Man. Why'd you name this giant bird the Quiet Man, kid? You should have named it fucking Scary Bird who protects my mom. That is October 3rd. I'm very excited because that's the story of Seasons Cow. I'm a mark.
They know how to get you.
WarioWare Move It. Yes! It's WarioWare, but you wiggle your body.
Finally. Yeah, use the joy.
Joy.
This is apparently explicitly a sequel to the Wii one, WarioWare Smooth Moves, to the point where in Japan, that is called like Dancing Made in Wario, and in Japan, this one is called Super Dancing Made in Wario.
For people who haven't played Smooth Moves, it's one of the best.
Yeah, I mean, that is the one.
Yeah, I love Smooth Moves.
You dance in place and point at your friends and watch them cry.
Yes!
Which could be any WarioWare game. It's really up to you, I guess.
This was so hype after the last WarioWare game with being that weird thing where you control each character and it made all the mini games kind of generic.
Yeah, all the actions are executed through an on-screen avatar, which really defeats the point.
Mm-hmm.
That's November 3rd. That's going to be a good stream. It's going to be a great stream. How come you guys showed up for that, but not VR? Well, you look like a jackass here. And I'm like, the difference being?
Nintendo sponsored it. God, that's this year.
Speaking of this year, they also announced a fucking Detective Pikachu game for this year. Why did you wait 6 years to do that or whatever? What the fuck?
Obviously, there's no another platform you play on this year. So they have to fill up the entire slate for the entire year, Dan. They can't just leave a month without a game. They definitely aren't announcing two games that are launching the same day.
During
this direct.
No. So they had Scarlet Violet assets as they're showing this trailer, and I'm like, oh, it's Scarlet Violet assets. Oh, and it's Detective Pikachu. Is this like? It would be weird to remake the first game with Scarlet Violet assets and then just re-release it. And then it was called Returns, and I'm like, I guess this is a new one. I haven't played the first one because it's on the 3DS, and I'll do anything to not play the 3DS.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to fucking overstate how uninterested I am in ever touching a 3DS ever again.
Yeah, that's October 6th. I'm fucking excited. I am so excited. God. What is with this direct? They could have announced Mega Man 12 and it would only slightly move the needle because I was that topped out. They showed Sonic Superstars again. That game looks great.
It has perfect physics, so it'll probably be fine.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. I told Bob during the Hey Pikmin stream, and I should say it again here. Something about them making 12 new worlds or whatever, and me visually seeing these jungles that have gimmicky mechanics made my brain go, Are you Triple Trouble? Because like for some reason, Triple Trouble is the definitive it's. To me, Triple Trouble's the definitive, we made a Sonic game, but mad quirky because we don't have as much oversight and we get to do whatever the fuck we want.
Mm-hmm. Man.
So that's great.
I'm glad that they're doing that thing we always say of stop remaking levels. Make new ones.
Yeah, I think it's a little cruel that the Mania team didn't get to do that, but now Toshima does. But whatever,
Yeah.
I like Arzest. I have no complaints. This is really promising. This is great. It's like their new Super Mario Bros.
Yeah. Weird.
This will be relevant later. Star Ocean, the second story R is real. It is revealed and it is HD 2D-ish.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
close
God.
enough.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like immediately became the best looking Star Ocean game ever made.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
This is tragic. I cannot believe they have done this to me personally. Why do I have to play a Star Ocean game now? I have spent my entire life intentionally conflating Star Ocean and Phantasy Star just to make the fans of those two series miserable. And
But
now this
Aggro.
game looks amazing and I have to play it.
You're trying to make a skeleton angry? 'Cause
Yes.
when you look over
his name
Phantasy
is
Star,
Eric
that's all
and it's
that's there.
awesome.
But Aggro, you're a Genesis kid. You have to love Phantasy Star.
That's true.
Nah, man, I played it on like one of those collections of the PS3. It's like, oh, this is not good.
I heard good things about 4.
Yeah, 4. Okay, so here's the thing. I believe the good ones are supposed to be 1, 2, and 4, or 1 and 4. But it's important.
I
that there
hear
are
a lot
numbers in
about
between people are
2,
upset about.
but 2 is a Famicom game in terms of scope and mechanics.
Yeah, Master System's a little rough.
Yeah, both
For
of those early ones look like sub Dragon Warrior.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because they're
Like, there's
Sega
a
rushing
reason-
out of Dragon Warrior knockoff.
Yeah.
There's a reason I said 4 because like 4 is really late.
Mhm.
Maybe this is where it's a real game.
That's incredible. The Star Ocean news.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That is mind bending.
When they
It
showed
also has it looks incredible. It's gonna bare minimum have the PSP voice track. They might have re-recorded them.
it sounded like they got the same actors back to record more or something like that. If it wasn't re-recording everything, it was at least now everything is voiced, which I do not believe was the case in the PSP one.
They added new gameplay mechanics. The big one is you can now actually use spellcasters because their spells don't freeze the game.
Yes.
Yeah, and they also showed those tag-in characters for ones that aren't on your main party.
Yeah, you use strikers.
Yeah.
Or you just call them in to do their attack if they're not in your main cast. That's really cool.
Yeah.
This looks sick.
They also showed the world map where you get to fly around with a spaceship, and I was like, that's great. What happened to world maps and RPGs?
No. Bob, at the point we're at, you should probably be asking what happened to RPGs, because Final Fantasy 16, I think, is going to be a great game. That's a fucking action game. I played that demo. That's fucking hilarious.
I mean, they're this is part of the uptick.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, I now have to think, like, what is even left? What is even left that I need to be rescued? There's Saga Frontier 2, which is definitely going to happen because that dude is in charge of things at Square Enix and is like, these don't lose money. This is executive privilege. I get to have my shit remade.
Speaking of that, and I just need to say my piece real fast. As a fucking Mono fan, fuck you all. Fuck you fucking Saga fans. You're eating too well.
Hey, we got Trials and Legend of Mana.
It has been so long since Trials and Legend of Mana.
Legend, that's a good game and a good remaster of that game. What game even is there other than Legend and Trials?
I want a game.
Well, the Trials came out on top of the pandemic. Okay, it takes time.
It doesn't take time for the Saga fans. The Saga fans get 3 phone games, 2 HD remasters.
Hey, there was a bad monophone game.
There was.
They got the fucking Saga collection on Switch, where it was like 1, 2, and 3. Also during
We
that
got
time.
the Legend
Admittedly, that
collection
was
on
them
Switch.
doing the Legends thing. Look, I'm just bitter. Can I just be bitter? I didn't
Let's
say
see.
my piece was right. I said I was gonna say it.
We need Suikoden, which Konami's doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need Final Fantasy Tactics, which people are just saying, yeah, that's real. That's the up next after.
God, after
Mm.
seeing the Mario RPG remake, imagine Final Fantasy Tactics looking like that.
I will lose it. And then they get the composer back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You-
Base Escape to
Yeah,
do.
you can't even make that game without him.
Oh yeah.
But then we have to get into the pain where it's like Sony's way too brain dead right now to do this to Wild Arms. They're just fucking completely.
Yeah, that's why the
Yeah.
dude from Wild Arms went off and made a Kickstarter.
Jim Ryan has throws a fucking fit if he sees a game made before 2021.
What are you making a sequel to again? Ghost of Tsushima, sir? When did you ship that?
You have to remake it first, then you can start on a sequel.
Ryan's trick.
I'd really like Breath of Fire.
Yes. No, we were talking about this during the Pikmin stream. Where the fuck is the Breath of Fire? Capcom's giving everyone love, and fucking Breath of Fire is one of the most gorgeous fucking things over here. We need a real translation for 2, for the love of fucking God, because
Yeah,
2 is
there's-
so much cooler than 1. But it's translated like I
There's
am
a patch
fell
now,
asleep.
but that's
That's
not the same thing.
It seems crazy. Like I feel like Breath of Fire is way more important than Battle Network, but I understand Battle Network is going to sell more.
Yeah, Battle Network sold a
Like that's
shitload.
going to sell like crazy. But
know
now
what's-
the only other thing that's more important Mega Man wise than Breath of Fire is Legends.
Right. So do
Yeah,
Legends.
Legends
than
is
Breath of Fire.
Legends is more important than Breath of Fire.
But then I feel like that Breath of Fire has to be up there on the talking block. That
mean,
and
here's-
Onimusha.
They don't see it coming, but when they release a fucking Breath of Fire collection, especially if they do like an HD 2D thing for Breath of Fire, they're gonna sell crazy amounts of
I don't even
copies
think I don't even think they need to do that for 3 and 4. Those games.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Not for 3 and 4,
Like,
for 1 and 2. But
Every
they're
time I
gonna
see
sell
4, it looks insane.
They're gonna sell way more copies of that than they think, because they don't know about the furry uprising over the last 3 years or 3 decades.
They just
don't.
need to put that tiger lady on the cover of every game.
Oh yeah.
They already
Hey,
put
the
at
Tiger
least
Dude in 3.
Breath of Fire 1 is on their what you call it, where you just get to play SNES games on the thing.
Oh,
Oh,
on
the,
Nintendo Switch
Switch thing.
Online.
Yeah, man, what a terribly generic name.
Uh huh.
No, I know they put at least 1 on there. I don't remember if they put 2 up.
People are saying 2's up. Yeah, that's not enough, guys. I'm sorry. That's not.
Yeah, those. It's like
It
yeah,
is
like
Nintendo.
Wild Arms 1, 2, and 3 are on Sony stupid bullshit. That's not real. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
not good enough. Also, especially 2, because they need to fucking retranslate that game.
Yeah, we need to burn all of these things to the ground so we can actually get some goddamn releases.
Yeah.
And then other than that, like it's almost every single thing. Like I'd like whatever in the web of Japanese bullshit has Lunar. I would like Lunar.
Yes,
does
I
feel
would love
weird
Lunar.
Like Lunar feels like one of those series that just is left.
Yeah, I feel like you hit the nail on the head for RPGs from my youth. I really have a deep emotional connection to when you said Lunar and Breath of Fire. Those are like the 2 that remain.
I need
I'm not-
Grandia because I'm a weirdo. Is like that's basically one of my favorite RPGs ever.
I'm not
you got
hopeful for an
Grandia, they ruined
Azure
it.
Dreams like thing. No one's gonna remember Azure Dreams. That's Konami. They're not gonna be like, hey guys, here's our HD 2D Azure Dreams. If they did, I'd fucking lose it.
They fucking might. It's this roguelike. They could. Like,
Do they
it's
realize
more primed than
that's-
ever?
It's the same
Yeah.
thing. I don't know.
I'd
Yeah,
like
th-
Thousand Arms, but that's never gonna happen. Nobody's gonna dig up who owns that and be like, let's re-release Thousand Arms.
I heard that, Chris. That was not a re-release I respect for Grandia. It was like we ruined every sprite in the game and didn't even put it on PlayStation. It's like,
Yeah,
what did you do?
sadly, Gung Ho is really fucking stupid. So
Yeah, no, that could have
Oh,
easily been a huge
God.
win.
I think Sega owns Thousand Arms now because it was Atlas that published it.
Oh,
Huh.
weird.
Because it was developed by Tosei.
Gonna throw this in, and that way I don't forget it completely this podcast. Killzone Liberation was added to the PS5 library of PSP games, so that was a really cool top-down shooter, cover shooter very interesting thing. I want to see that in like 1440p. That sounds fascinating.
I think that was a game I got for free at some point and never beat. It seemed neat though.
Yeah, it's really cool. I played the demo several times, and then I tried the full game and didn't cut enough time to play it. So yeah, it's maybe the best kills mode.
Maybe. Wow, this game is a 7. Incredible.
Hey,
The best skills zone.
that's better than a 7. Let's see. They had a really cool trailer for a collection, and in the middle of the trailer, Batman's like, "It's time for backup," and the Batmobile appeared, and then the whole trailer crashed. Okay, none of that happened, but they did announce an Arkham Trilogy collection, and
Yeah, do you want the worst possible way to play those games?
the Batmobile still makes the game's performance eat shit. And
I want to see what Arkham Knight looks like on the Switch.
Well, hey, this better be a fucking step one to be like, yeah, we updated Arkham Knight for PS5.
Yeah, I'm really hoping this is a collection that will also just launch on there too. It was like, no, don't worry about the other collection we did. This is new. It's
Yeah,
good this time.
Like
I
at
do
least
wonder.
Arkham Knight, like just crank that shit up. It's like at 1080p. It looks and runs fine at 1080p. But come on, we have the PS5 now. That a PS5 re-release of Arkham Knight will sell better than Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad combined.
yeah.
And you can just unlock the frame rates on all 3 of those games, and they'd run really well now because they were
Right.
like fluctuating upper 50s before they locked them for the first 2 games.
Wow, they locked them? I wonder
wonder
who could have influenced them to lock those games so that way they can't run at 60 on the PS5 right now today.
I wonder if the Digital Foundry did any bad thing.
Man, that sure was a double-edged sword with nearly no benefits.
Yep.
Anyway, Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince was announced. It looked like a Dragon Quest Monsters game, but it was really nice looking. So
Please ship
excited.
this on something other than just Switch.
No.
Please,
No.
please, just put it on anything else.
December
Even
3rd.
PC.
Oh yeah, literally anything else, but
Yeah, it's one of those where I'm like, I'm always waiting for Switch 2. Come on.
Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 is confirmed for the Switch. It's coming out October 24th, and they confirmed a lot of extra content that's in it. So,
Yeah, this is great.
we got Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3. We got Metal Gear 1 and 2. We got Metal Gear 1 and 2 on the NES. And we got the digital comics, the digital graphic novels for Metal Gear Solid 1 and Metal Gear Solid 2 included on it, which is insanely awesome because, man, I wanted to see those in a decent resolution.
Those things are really cool. I only
Yeah.
ever had the first volume, but that was dope.
Also, there's a soundtrack, so you can go play songs in the game in some sort of jukebox mode. That's awesome. This is a good collection.
Yeah.
Where's my Castlevania one?
I know, right?
Look, I understand Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 1 is going to sell a little bit better than the Curse of Darkness Lament of Innocence combo pack.
I thought
but
you were talking about the DS collection. Jesus.
Look, I'll eat anything.
Fair.
Anything that doesn't have
So
the word
hungry.
Lords of in the title.
Yeah,
I'll eat it.
if they never touched Lords of Shadow again, that would be for the best. They
Oh,
should
yeah.
never even re-release it. I don't care.
I don't think they will.
Yeah.
I don't think they will because that's
Like-
where the series bombed.
Right,
so.
that's poison.
October 24th for that because this year won't fucking stop.
Right, I'm gonna have to buy that. I can't not.
Right. The Sonic Mania people have made a 3D platformer that got announced here called Penny's Big Breakaway. It's really cool. You see, she has a yo-yo and she can roll it, stand on it, and roll it downhill to go fast down hills in 3D. And then when she does a jump, she can throw it out and it will stop in midair and she swings like it is a rope hanging from the yo-yo. That shit looks great.
Yeah, like that game made by people who understand how to do flow and momentum. That's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, it was crazy to be like, oh yeah, it's not just Nintendo stuff here. This is the most incredible looking 3D platformer outside of Nintendo I've seen.
Man, sure is cool that people are making cool things and they announce it at Nintendo's thing.
And something tells me this game didn't take half a decade to make.
Yeah, you don't think it took 5 years to...
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not.
You think...
Oh, well, that just
Maybe
means it's
it's-
gay, as we established.
Darn released happens last year or last week. You have to spend 5 years making your game or it's gay. Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Dude, how'd they make a new Super Mario Brother game, but it looks sick? It like has art style.
They gave it an art style. It's
Yeah.
really somebody just did a viral tweet. It's like, man, it's weird that Nintendo was like, yeah, Mario should look like shit for like 6 games, and posted all the new Super Mario Bros. Games.
Yeah, it was really fucking weird when they locked in the DS aesthetic and they just stuck with it the whole time. At the same time, I enjoyed the Wii one and the new Super Mario Bros. U. So I expected to come over here and Bob to be like, that looks fucking terrible. And I'm like, I think it looks awesome. But no, Bob's.
Yeah, no, they sold me by making it look like a game should. Instead of like a DS game up rest.
I like that we have like so many different ways Mario should look in this single year. Between Super Mario RPG, the movie, and I swear there's at least one game where he looks stereotypically just Mario.
There's also the Mario and Rabbids thing, which he looks That was last year. That was last year.
Yeah,
There
they're
was
just
DLC for it here though.
yeah. So we did get to see the most on-model Mario possible with all these other Marios. I love it. God bless.
Yeah, that's the thing that always killed me about New Super Mario Brothers is he's like disturbingly on model always.
Yeah, it looks like they're doing that Guilty Gear-esque thing of like, no, we use 3D models, but we have frames that they're going to, and it looks cool.
Yeah, the best way I could describe it, Bob, the whole like for some reason we locked in that DS aesthetic and it never changes. Is this bizarre Mickey Mouse watch they have where he animates and he just keeps tapping his foot and doing that's always been like, who desires this? Who wants to look at their wrist and see Mickey fucking Mouse hands contorted in weird directions at all times?
Disney adults for like 5 decades.
What sort of cryptid Chris just cuts me off and he goes, Rocco Bodie. Shit. No, I doubt Rocco Bodie would even do that. That's if you have a Mickey Mouse watch face, you let me know in the comments. You're like, I love it. Mickey's trapped in my wrist. Daisy's as strong as the football guy?
Yeah, easily.
That's crazy.
And she's
never would have guessed.
She's part of the main cast now. That's also crazy.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Finally.
No, that's great.
No Rosalina. Good. She can't win.
So
I mean, Rosalina. I mean, 3D World counts as a mainline Mario game, Bob. You can't escape it. It does. She's playable in it.
Amazing G guy donated and was like, hey guys, you can make a game featured around any Mario character. What genre is it? And I'm like, Rosalina, and it's a real estate sim because she's a criminal.
I don't even have this disdain for Rosalina that Dan does. It's
No,
just like
I don't
Daisy.
hate her. I respect the game, but she's a criminal.
It's just, no, Daisy's been there longer. She's earned this.
Yeah. I want Daisy in more games. I want to see her push heavier objects.
Yes. If you make her muscles slightly bigger every game, I'm not complaining.
She has anchor arms.
She looks like Marisa from Street Fighter before too long.
Oh my god. She needs to be in Super Mario RPG too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Super Mario Wonder looked great, and there were no bad parts, right, Bob? It was all super great, and everything was funny, and ha-has, and you don't have any lingering fears.
Everything was fine. Until the elephant power-up, which is fine for Mario.
That's terrifying. Every other time Mario puts on a suit.
I know!
Yeah.
But this time he morphs.
Your point being.
It's so much.
I think we need Elephant Mario handing out the L's so we can put "This is for you."
That'd be really good.
But yeah, no, I just, as soon as I saw that, I had the moment of terror of what my timeline on Twitter would become was when Daisy and Peach pick it up.
I'm sorry, it's happening, Bob.
And I've already seen some artists tweet about it. I'm like, no, stop.
You can't fight it, Bob. It's gonna happen. You're gonna see Daisy as an elephant. That's just what's gonna happen here. Meanwhile, Wowie zowie. Meanwhile, I just got sent an image of what Mario looked like halfway through the transition, and I'm like, oh,
there's sure frame by frame.
oh,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't need this in my replies.
Yeah, no, it's rough. The other cool stuff that happens, though, like the world getting crazy distorted when you pick up the weird
undulation stuff.
It seems that's an optional thing to change the level to get some kind of collectible, because at the end you get a wonder seed.
Yeah,
and it
you get a
looks
wonder
like there's
seed for
2 in
beating a
each
level, and the other one's an optional one.
That's
so
neat.
that's cool. I like games that do that.
Right.
Give me something that, if you're going to have a collectible that's progress related, give me something for beating the level. You can have an extra of it hidden in the level. Just no one wants to beat a level and feel like I'd accomplished nothing.
You get the next level.
Well, that doesn't matter because I haven't made any actual progress.
Don't worry about it.
Also, a lot of people haven't been talking about how in the background, cast in shadow, Mario becomes Lung Cat.
What? I've
Am
not
I
seen
the
that.
only person who noticed?
Oh yeah, I noticed.
He's
Like,
wiggling in the darkness, and he's this tall.
Yeah, God, he is. That was him. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Honestly, we're joking about all these other things. The only thing that actually worries me is those talking things that are in the stages.
Yeah.
Which might be incredibly annoying. We will see. They could just be funny. They could be fine.
I like the voice they gave it, and I also like all the jokes it made of like, oh, it's because he punted the Goomba immediately. It's pretty good. But that's it. We did it. We talked about the entire Nintendo Direct. I argue possibly the greatest Nintendo Direct that ever was.
I don't know. There's been incredible Nintendo Directs before, so it's hard for me to jump that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We never
for
got
your
Star
weakness.
Ocean and we never got Mario and RPG and Star Ocean 2 in the exact same.
Right.
I
fucking
know.
one. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Yeah, it is
How am I
it is
gonna
pretty
top
unbeatable in that regard.
In fact, I dare say that Nintendo cruelly showed up late and ripped the trophy out of Microsoft. Hands. Like, we'll take this.
Easily.
Yeah.
Like thinking back on that Microsoft show, I'm like, it was a well put together show, and I would stand by my rating for it. But the only thing from it I'm buying are those Atlas games.
Too bad this Direct was in the wrong week and it doesn't count for E3.
Wait.
Bob, I was going to say, aren't you getting avowed? But then I remembered.
No.
No one.
No one's
one but
buying
me.
Avowed.
It's just me. You guys are going to look up the Steam charts for Avowed, and you're going to see one.
Real damn
And
video
it'll be
games.
me, and then it'll just post my IP address so you can all bully me.
Even if I did think that game was hideous, I liked Outer Worlds so much, I will buy the next 4 Obsidian games, even if they're bad.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of how the company works, because usually they are.
Oh, no! Well, that's it for news. Obviously, I'm giving that Direct an A+. I just said it was the greatest Direct Nintendo's ever done. And I really do struggle to imagine a better one.
I feel like there was one years ago, but I can't remember what was in it. I just remember going, oh fuck, that was amazing. How did you top the rest of this year? So
Yeah.
I'll have to go look it up.
Yeah, I feel like if there was a better one, it might have been the Switch launch year.
There was a lot of incredible stuff that year.
My God. Siphon filter.
Yes,
also,
it's quite
there's
remarkable.
Mario Kart 8 DLC.
Oh, okay.
That happened. This isn't me to say it doesn't matter. It's just it's wave 5 of 6.
Yeah, right.
We've been through this a few times. I'm very excited to play that. I might just wait until wave 6 is done
Right?
and then
At
just
this point, just be like, I got all of it.
But this
I got
one
them
has
all.
the Wiggler.
That is true, and that's amazing. I did not realize they were going to add the Wiggler. But that's it for Big Thing Dimension. Forever. Because we've peaked. Bob,
What's up?
we're playing Luigi's Mansion 1 tomorrow, and I am really excited.
I hear that one's good. I've always wanted to play it. It looks like a tech demo.
It does look like a tech demo. It sure is fucking neat to have 1,000,000 polygons and shit because you can, right? That shit is tight. Anyways.
Dan, I'm going to need you to move that picture of an elephant because I'm starting to normalize Bob's voice coming out of it, and it's just it's starting to seem too natural of a fit.
Okay, sorry.
No.
How's it going, Aggro? How do you like this one?
Yeah, that's off enough. I think I could survive.
I just grabbed that fruit, and this is how it is now. You just have to live with it.
Yeah, just keep slipping into Carl. We'll get there.
Speaking of voices, did anybody else see what they're doing to Justin Roiland's show?
Yeah.
Yeah, solar opposites.
That's all it took. That's all it took. The man brought nothing to any of his project.
Yeah.
Man, it's amazing how not contributing makes you more replaceable. Huh.
Yeah, I feel like I saw nothing but positive reactions to that. Like they liked the new voice more.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like Justin Roiland can't do good voice. I went and looked. I'm like, okay, what did Justin Roiland doing this character? He fucking did Morty one pitch deeper.
Oh my god,
that's
of
all
course.
it was.
That's all he's got.
Was it Morty or Rick? I assumed it was Rick.
It was Morty. It was Morty, like deeper.
That's his natural speaking voice, I'm pretty sure. Morty's the child. If he's Morty but deeper, that's his natural speaking.
Well, I guess he didn't like trying very much on that show.
That is the newest show from him, right?
Uh-huh.
So that would explain it. Yes.
My God. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny and that they just immediately addressed that and then moved on. So good for him. I guess this Friday is Luigi's Mansion 1 and next Friday is Luigi's Mansion 3.
It's a weird release rush they did.
Really comprehensive coverage of the Luigi's Mansion 1.
It's a shame they took Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon out in the back and shot it to death.
That was really fucked up. They could have waited like 2 more weeks and we would have played it. Admittedly, I would have become the man on fire.
Right, because we'd be the most owned we have ever been.
Yeah, I literally wouldn't be any more owned than that.
We just have to wear dunce hats for like 2 months straight.
Yeah, that's fair. We would deserve it at that point. Can't be very good gamer psychics if you walk straight into that rake. We're going to throw it over to Chris. Chris, what do you got going on in the next week?
I guess I'll probably stream Mega Man ZX Advent. I don't know when, though, because Final Fantasy 16 will be out.
Right? Got to go before we stream tomorrow in order to get the video game, because I didn't tell the story.
God,
we didn't tell this story.
This sucks.
If you guys recall, I told the story 2 weeks ago on Big Think Dimension, or maybe last week, but I think it was 2, about a very smug GameStop employee who's like, we always do midnight launches. There's no way we're not going to do a midnight launch for this. And I'm like, about half of the games I've gotten from you in the last year, you haven't done it. And he's like, yeah, but it's Final Fantasy. We're going to do it. They give me the fucking call Wednesday to go, you can pick it up Thursday.
Oh, you got to pick it up on Thursday? You got to pick it up today, Dan?
Theoretically,
I went up there today to find out my GameStop was fucking closed because they no longer have enough staff to stay open all the days they're supposed to. And the days they are open, they're only open for 6 hours from 12 to 6.
I don't understand how that wasn't changed for the big release week.
Right.
That makes no sense.
None. Like any other week,
games normally
sure,
don't
maybe,
come out on Thursday. Normally they come out on Friday.
Yeah, but they can see the date from
No, they're
months
stupid.
away.
No, they're stupid. I'm sorry.
I just the poor management of GameStop upsets me so much.
Yeah, I'm hoping when we move, we can get a re-roll and at least get a better local GameStop, because it's obvious the whole thing's pretty fucked.
Right, obviously. Like
but
every
Jesus.
single one of them is doing that. Like most of the ones out in Destin and Sandestin areas are now like they say open till 7 p.m.
Sandestin has a GameStop?
Sorry, not Sandestin.
Crestfield?
Miramar Beach. Even farther out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because gamers, they could definitely get off of their jobs by 7 p.m. and get in there.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so yeah, that was the same person who said the thing about connecting a phone to a computer and it breaking the Pikmin 4 trailer, so that's why Pikmin 4 looked bad. Anyways, I'm really sick of dealing with the local GameStop employees.
Yeah, that's right.
Because this keeps happening every time I go in, and it feels like I'm extra owned when that's something is them being smug about, of course we're going to do midnight launch, and then they don't.
Don't you want to go ask them like 18 questions on a survey and then pretend that told you anything for the internet?
No, because then Ian from the CU podcast would disown me as a friend and maybe hunt me for sport. Because doing that to a game store employee is fucked up.
Just imagine you're at your job. You're just trying to make it through the day. You're like, oh God, there's 2 hours left, but I'm almost done. And then David Jaffe's just pressed on the glass. It's like, let me ask you some questions.
Oh God, it's him again.
I need a 17-year-old to tell people that I'm right.
Agra, what you got going on in the next week?
Well, now that I finally bit the bullet and actually beat Tears of the Kingdom,
cool,
nice.
I think I'm going to desperately play a little bit of Octopath before I have to start Final Fantasy 16.
Cool. Some good news came out from those reviews. Because I made a joke to Bob once, and it made me so sick to my stomach. I was like, please, God, anything but this. I said once, Final Fantasy 16 hours, because it's now an action game. Some action games are that short. And I just went, I don't need that to hang over the franchise for the rest of time. I will vomit blood.
Yeah, I feel like that would be this exact length until May Cry 5. 16 hours long.
Right. Oh, my God. So anyways, reviewers are saying it's like 30, 40, which thank fucking Christ. I don't need a 16-hour game. That literally would have just eaten away at my soul. As a Final Fantasy fan since Final Fantasy 1, I sure don't need another goddamn entry with a fucking Reaper hanging over it. Hovering.
Yeah, if we had gotten Final Fantasy 16 hours, like that would have broken my faith in them forever. Like there's no even me, and I have a really fucking high tolerance for that sort of thing. I'm like, oh, it had a totally normal seeming press cycle. Good people were in charge. It seemed to have enough money. This still happened. It's over.
So I'm excited for Final Fantasy 16 and Luigi's Mansion. I have a pretty exciting weekend ahead of me. Hope you guys join us for Luigi's Mansion baby stream tomorrow, because that thing's tiny.
Yeah, what a tiny little game. He's just a little guy.
It's just a little guy. This little guy game. Unlike Luigi's Mansion 2, which is the longest of the franchise, and I'm really fucking glad it's not a 3DS stream anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Luigi's Mansion is 7 hours.
No, it's not.
Right. Luigi's Mansion is 6.5 hours.
No, it's not.
Luigi's Mansion is as long as Resident Evil 3 remake.
It's longer than that. I will be stunned if it takes you more than 4 hours to beat that game.
I'm excited. I want to know if Eric picked up the controller and hates it so much he throws it on the ground within 3 minutes.
I feel like there's no way, right? The game's neat. It's got a Game Boy Color, and Luigi hums the theme song. And they're cartoony ghosts.
And there's that scientist guy is in there, right?
Yeah, Egad.
Egad, okay.
Yeah. That game's dope. I'm really glad they made a sequel. And I'm really glad after that they made a good sequel. That's what I'm really glad about.
You guys say they're really glad they made a sequel. Number 3.
It's smart of them to realize 2 would have been bad and skip right over it. Anyways, that's going to do it for Big Thing to Mention. Have a good one, everyone. Goodbye. Bob.
Yeah.
I could read your mind. I know you were thinking bad thoughts about Geno. No! Thank you very much for listening to this episode of Big Thing to Mention. Big Thing to Mention is only possible because of you and your support over at patreon.com/GB Podcast, where you can get access to various commentary tracks for over 70-ish movies, and also the movie Isolation 119, a gripping tale about a man who drinks a lot of beer. That's patreon.com/GB Podcasts.